मेरी आवाज अभी कौन कौन सुन सकता है इस टाइम पे? पक्का? कौशिक से थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखिए, बताऊंगा तुझे, बट बस ध्यान रखियो। अपना काम टाइम पे कर, टाइम पे आ, सारी चीजें टाइम पे चेक कर, ठीक है? ओके। मैंने फिक्सेस को फोन तो किया, फिक्सेस आ तो नहीं रहे, अगर नहीं आएंगे तो फिर मैं शैडो को बुला लूंगा। हाँ हाँ ऑफिस में है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। अबे ठीक है, अभी रहने दे, आराम से बैठी हुई है वो, वही फोन किया मैंने। हाथ में दर्द हो रहा है भाई कुछ तो। सुन, हिट वर्कआउट पता है ना तुझे क्या होता है? HIIT, हाँ, तो तुझे पता है ना उसमें अराउंड कितनी एक्सरसाइजेज होती है? मतलब अरे वैसे नहीं, मतलब मान ले अगर तू आज हिट वर्कआउट करने गया एक दिन के उसमें, तो उसमें कितनी एक्सरसाइज होंगी? 10-15 होंगी मैक्स टू मैक्स, 20 होंगी ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा। आधे घंटे का वर्कआउट होगा। क्या? अच्छा, क्योंकि हिट हिट में तुझे पता है हालत खराब हो जाती है, बहुत ज़्यादा गंदी हालत हो जाती है। तो सिमिलरली कल मैंने हिट का वर्कआउट किया और मैंने बेली फैट और एब्स वाला किया। अब मैंने पहले देखे उसमें 3 ऑप्शंस, एक था इंटरमीडिएट, बिगिनर और एडवांस। सिंपल है ना, मतलब बिगिनर, इंटरमीडिएट, एडवांस, सिंपल 3। अब टेक्निकली क्योंकि मैंने काफ़ी टाइम से बेली फैट वगैरह एब्स का कुछ नहीं किया है, तो मुझे वैसे तो बिगिनर चूज करना चाहिए था, बट ऑब्वियसली मी बीइंग मी, तो मैं बिगिनर क्यों चूज करूं? मैंने इंटरमीडिएट चूज करना चाहिए था। फिर मेरे अंदर से एक आवाज आती है, जैसे तुम्हारे मुंह के बगल में कंकाल आके बोल रहा होता है ना कुछ, वो सेम कंकाल मेरे मुंह के बगल में आके बोल रहा था, आर यू रियली गोइंग टू डू द इंटरमीडिएट वर्कआउट? डू हैव यू फॉरगॉटन योर ग्लोरी डेज then you would hold L sit for minutes? Have you forgotten how much you would break yourself that you could not even move? फिर मेरे अंदर ऐसे एक आग लगी, मैं कहा एडवांस करेंगे। गेस कर कितनी एक्सरसाइज थी उसमें? 34। वर्कआउट करने में मुझे टाइम नहीं लगा, वर्कआउट मैंने कर लिया अराउंड 30 मिनट 45 मिनट में, ठीक है कूल। अभी तक तो नहीं आया, आप आ जाओ, ड्राई रन दे दो। तो वर्कआउट करने में मुझे टाइम नहीं लगा, ठीक है, मैंने 30 मिनट 45 मिनट में वर्कआउट कर लिया आराम से, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, सब सॉर्ट ठीक। अगले 20 मिनट लगे मुझे घास पे से खड़े होके चेयर पे बैठने में। फिर 20 मिनट लगे मुझे चेयर से खड़े होके स्कूटी तक जाने में। I know, yeah, I saw that.
I just noticed.
When I saw you getting out of the cab, I was like, it's twinning.
I just noticed.
So,
and this is such a shitty graphic.
It's all live.
This is such a good graphic. This is the best graphic I've ever seen.
नीचे ये लाइन लगी है, शैडो नीचे देखो, टेप लगी हुई है, पीछे हो जाओ।
Oh, markers. We have the markers.
वो भी मैंने और ओम ने लगाए थे। वो मार्कर भी मैंने और ओम ने लगाए थे। पीछे हो थोड़ा सा और।
अरे it doesn't matter ना, because you and Fixer will be
वो भी यही पीछे होके बैठेंगे।
हाँ तो मतलब वो एडजस्ट कर लेंगे ना, अभी तो ऑडियो चेक करना है।
और कुछ नहीं है, ये टेक चेक ही करना है, सब हो गया, सब कुछ हो चुका है, मजे ले रहा हूँ बैठे बैठे बस।
ओम इसका क्लिप निकालो, अगर
पति आने के लिए चाहिए
मुझे भी देना। ओम इसका क्लिप मुझे दे देना, ठीक है? हाँ मेरे को दे देना, I'll make something।
आईसी बेबी से बात नहीं कर रहा अब जाके जब खाना खा रहा था बैठे बैठे।
मैं एक्चुअली उन्हीं से बात कर रही थी।
एक तो बंदा खाना खोल रहा है और शैडो आप मौत वाली बातें कर रहे हो, इंसान मरने की बातें कर रहे हो यार, कम ऑन भाई।
सॉरी टू से बट मैं एक ऐसे घर में रही हूँ जहाँ पे मेरी 95 ईयर की दादी थी, एंड हमारा डिनर का लंच का डिस्कशन होता था हर शिट का कलर ऑफ हर पूप, द टेक्सचर, द कंसिस्टेंसी फॉर वन एंटायर ईयर।
मेरी गलती की मैंने पूछा।
Have you seen the movie Piku?
Yes.
That's exactly us.
At least Piku was funny.
I am more funny than more funny than
Oh
her.
my god. वही मजा आ गया destroyed in second.
यार एक बात बताओ, इसमें अगर म्यूट करके कास्टर से बात करनी हो या किसी से, वो कैसे हो?
हो ही नहीं सकता.
दिस इज सच अ गुड सेटअप, आई लाइक यू ओम. यू शुड. मतलब एक तो स्क्रीन इतना पीछे है भाई, उसको कास्ट कैसे करेंगे, देखेंगे
आगे
कैसे?
आगे घुस के बैठते हैं हम.
इससे अच्छा आप दो वो लगा दो ना बेरिंगर, उससे आवाज वो होगा. हाँ आई नो, आई एम जीनियस.
कभी कभार मुझे लगता है आपको प्रोडक्शन में होना चाहिए.
मुझे भी कई बार लगता है मुझे प्रोडक्शन में होना चाहिए.
बट द पॉइंट इज फिर आप ऐसी बातें कर देते हो. तो मुझे लगता है आप टैलेंट में ही ठीक हो. भाई भाई ये तो पक्का क्लिप होनी चाहिए. ये तो मैं डालूंगा, ये तो मैं ही अपलोड करूंगा. ओ भाई मजा आ गया.
यू नो द एडिटिंग.
काट के डाल के सीधा अपलोड, और कुछ नहीं करनी है एडिटिंग.
ओह गॉड,
बहुत गोटेड लाइन आई है भाई, ये तो बहुत ज्यादा.
this is the only reason I think Scared should start dating. He'll get a girl in his life and the brain will come automatically. Hello sir, I am so sorry for yesterday. मुझे पता ही नहीं था.
फिक्सेस राइट स्वाइप या लेफ्ट स्वाइप? There is nothing about her. Schmooze, similar. Schmooze is basically this app जिसमें memes आएंगे. You swipe on memes and then you eventually see a profile and then you swipe on that profile if you like it or not. Yes.
2-1 Otis, bloody hell. But today I don't think you'll be required.
हाँ बोल बोल. हाँ एक ही भी है 3 आज. ओम क्या बोल रहा है, दोबारा बोल. भाई क्या मजा आया फिक्सेस. एक क्या बढ़िया क्लिप आएगी आज तो. दिखाता हूँ अभी. बहुत कम आ रही है, बहुत कम आ रही है. हाँ देखो अभी सुनना भी. We're talking about the setup. So it's like इससे अच्छा आप 2 बेरिंगर वाले सेटअप लगा दो यहाँ पे, उससे सीन सॉर्ट हो जाएगा. सुनो सुनो सुनो, भी कुछ तो बात हुई थी. हाँ अब आ रही है बोल. हाँ कूल है कूल, मतलब थोड़ी अजीब सी है बट हाँ मच बेटर भाई, बहुत बढ़िया. हाँ लड़ो भाई, लड़ो लोगों से, कलेश करो, उसी से खुलोगे. फिक्सेस चुप हो गए 1 सेकंड के अंदर. इज लाइक मैं जा रहा हूँ, आई एम आउट ऑफ हियर. हाँ बढ़िया बढ़िया। यस बढ़िया है। हाँ अब बता तू बोल क्या रहा था, अब बता तू बोल क्या रहा था। मैं नहीं बोल रहा। कौन सी रेकनिंग और कौन है? रेकनिंग और सटूल है ना भाई। 2-1 ये 2-1 जा सकता है, ये जेन्युइन 2-1 लगता है मेरे अकॉर्डिंग। तो रेकनिंग जीतनी चाहिए, बट सटूल का भरोसा नहीं है। ऐसे ट्यूएल, ऐसे ट्यूएल का भाई वो चले गए, वो चले गए। हो तो क्या, शैडो ने चेक कर तो दिया। कूल है, आ जाएंगे आराम से, यहीं कहीं घूम रहे। सुन, आई वाज वाचिंग अ शो फॉर अबाउट 10 minutes एंड दिस लेडी वाज लिस्टिंग ऑल दीज ग्रेट थिंग्स टू डू फॉर फन। कूल। Then I realized it's one of the religious channels and she was reading the list of sins. आजा आजा आजा। आप कहाँ बाहर घूम रहे हो? Cool, cool. कर म्यूट कर। 5 के बाद नहीं आई मुझे आवाज। हाँ नहीं आई, नहीं आई, नहीं आई। 5 के बाद सब कट गया था। ठीक ठीक।
Let's go. 24. Add more blood, but it can't come. Pedal on a pedal with an old 3 kit. Room, boom, up 400, that's whoa. Got to see 100 the end move. Get lifted by the new bit cool. Let's do flat over your head. Body got another on me. Oh, double nine. Telephone cut that rain. Shout out my son for the rain though. I don't want cut my lane. Running fist fine, scare no rest. Go pop one ring, go break one bench. I pump missile if I wish I put one pistol on my head. Was popping and popping, love in the morning. Blue come over to come in the morning. Vogue in the flick, poster forming. Confident boy run a halo on me. Jealous in the NBO, fill up in the air. I be hitting minimal when I'm on the air. Yeah, boy so pitiful, wanna be my pet. Oh well, good boy, catch a bone on the stair. Renegade, let's go. 24. Add more blood, but it can't come. Pedal on a pedal with an old 3 kit. Room, boom, up 400, that's whoa. Got to see 100 the end move. Get lifted by the new bit cool. Let's do flat over your head. Body got another on me. Oh, scared of my life. Skittle. Green pack flavor. Take all the vice. Right side center. Pesky side. I need to spinner. Blind with the face, spin relay on this light. We gon' see where to take off. I am the chosen one, that's how I feel. I ain't tripping on rewind. The blessing I got from the angels around me are really some A1. I am the chosen one, that's how I feel. I ain't tripping on rewind. The blessing I got from the angels around me are really some A1.
Renegade, 为心将我包围。Renegade， 弄我自我击坠。雨落下，扣紧我外套，一辆车穿梭在轨道。你不想成为我目标 ？Renegade go on the more.
Renegade, let's go. 24. Add more blood, but it can't come. Pedal on a pedal with an old 3 kit. Room, boom, up 400, that's whoa. Got to see 100 the end move. Get lifted by the new bit cool. Let's do flat over your head. Body got another on me. Oh, double nine. Renegade, let's go. 24. Add more blood, but it can't come. Pedal on a pedal with an old 3 kit. Room, boom, up 400, that's whoa. Got to see 100 the end move. Get lifted by the new bit cool. Let's do flat over your head. Body got another on me. Oh, double nine.
I'm out here in the cold night, running till I barely feel my feet. Wanna see it through my own eyes. There's no going back, and I'm not afraid anymore. Cause I know I'm gonna be the last one standing. Yeah, I'm not afraid anymore. Yeah, I don't wanna wait anymore. I'm ready to fall, I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes, I'll run blind straight into the flames. Watch me burn, alone in the shadows. I'll carry you home on my back. If it's you or me, then I'll take the shot. Still they say I'm the villain. I'll scream and nobody listens. Still they say I'm the villain. Too bad you can't take me down. See that I'm surrounded by predators. It's critical, they got me in my element. It's dirty how you trying to keep it elegant. Keep my eyes open wide when everyone around me is an enemy. See my life cross my eyes. I'm ready to fall, I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes. If it's you or me, then I'll take the shot. Still they say I'm the villain. I scream and nobody listens. Still they say I'm the villain. Too bad you can't take me down. Too bad you can't take me down. You can't take me down. I'm ready to fall, I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes,
我的精神也很顽强，你掌握不了我是宣扬，天空变化莫测，境况让人前世，可是败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮着无奈，你们胜利也不受崇拜。I'm a great, I go way, popping, paving my way through the smoke and the flame and the cold and the rain. Yeah, you wanna be me, but I stand out. You on flat earth, looking at my cloud. Standing tall through the test. Standing tall through the test. 我的精神也很顽强，你掌握不了我是宣扬，天空变化莫测，境况让人前世，可是败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮着无奈，你胜利也不受崇拜。Standing tall through the test. Standing tall through the test. 你看我的 set 就知道我的团队在团结。Team is the best， 他们值得 respect， 我们之间有巨大的差别。连我妈妈也叫我永远的神。我一回家，她说大儿子你很 tough， 一直不带不能被取代，比我更努力的人也不存在。到时我起来和盐酸奶直接出了那战斗。I'm great, I go way, pop and paving my way through the smoke and the flame and the cold and the rain. If you wanna be me, but I stand out. You're on flat earth, looking at my cloud. Standing tall through the test. Standing tall through the test. Standing tall through the test. 我的精神也很顽强，你掌握不了我是宣扬，天空变化莫测，境况让人前世，可是败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮着无奈，你的胜利也不受崇拜。我的精神也很顽强，你掌握不了我是宣扬，天空变化莫测，境况让人前世，可是败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮着无奈，你的胜利也不受。Standing tall through the test. 咱们值得 respect. Standing tall through the test. 咱们值得 respect. 精神也很顽强，你掌握不了我是宣扬，天空变化莫测，境况让人前世，可是败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮着无奈 And now we still go ape, hey. Standing tall through the test. Standing tall through the test. 咱们值得 respect. Standing tall through the test. I wanna be a hero 自分を信じろ誰かのために心をたぎらせろ You know 困難な道を行く俺はヒーローどんな奴が来ても Take off and game over 終わることない戦いをせずに罪身を任せ運命は変えよう限界の向こう側へと明日の勝者はどっちだお前は悪か正義か決めるのは真の勝者だ
ahead of this. You don't know the half of it. I got dreams of looking up, high as I can get. But nothing feels like how it feels to know there's things I don't know yet. The weight of everything, and everything's just fate. Sometimes I'm trapped inside and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But to take on the world is the only thing that we know how to do. I've got dreams of finding out what all of this is for. It's you and me, and everywhere we go it leads to an open door. We made our mistakes, the good and bad days, but nothing really breaks if I got you. Look at the sky when you go outside, and know there is nothing to keep me back from you. I got dreams of finding out what all of this is for. It's you and me, and now there is nothing. And everywhere we go, we're leading to an ocean. Keep me back, keep me back, keep me back. Fuming afterlife, daylight. Dawn comes as a surprise. I am so hurt, I see heaven's light. Through the chaos, you're still on my mind. When the sky falls down, we'll make it out together. When the world ends here, we'll disappear forever. When
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage.
Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. I ain't taking no loss, no loss, no loss. Look, I'ma always win. And I'ma do it again. Watch me win. Then watch me do it again. I'ma always win.
Welcome to OMEN Parent Challenger South Asia. अब इस दिन के लिए हम कब से इंतजार कर रहे थे.
हर एक एंगल में डेवलप किया जा रहा है.
And VCSA Help का support, Help with the board.
And it opens a 3K and everything on the way. Shut down करते हुए रेफरी और एक और बार.
The champion, it's Team.
The trial by fire continues, as this time it's a battle for the golden ticket to Mumbai. A battle for a podium finish, and two teams will be fighting it out. Yes, folks, welcome. You are watching the OMEN VCSA Split 2. My name is Fixes. I'm joined along with Scared for an epic showdown between two mammoth orgs. On one side, we've got SA2L taking on Reckoning Esports. This is the storyline that has been built up for so long. Another elimination matchup. Scared, it's ever so exciting. But before we get into discussions, let's take a look at what's on the line. A massive prize pool of 1.13 crore plus, out of which in split 2 we've got 29 lakh plus up for grabs.
Absolutely. Split 3 is going to have the maximum amount of division out there, 53 lakh plus, but then there's also some special prizes. And here's the thing, you know, this battle is also going to be between the teams to eventually, as you mentioned, reach at that podium and grab at least the third highest part of that prize pool itself, with, again, a chance to get either 12 lakh or even 6.4 lakh. You do not want to miss out on any of those options.
Yes, the victor taking away the lion's share of 12 lakhs plus, the second position earning 6.4 lakh plus, and the third getting 4.4 lakh plus. And it so on, keeps on descending, as you can see on your screens. But yes, they will be also earning points accordingly, taking a look at how the point systems have spanned out. We know the victors of Split 1, Velocity already at the top, 60 points. We've got RNTX with 50, and that has happened. In the second split, however, the number has almost doubled, where first position takes 105. And this is all going to somehow come down after Split 3 is over, where we find our Ascension challenges.
That's the most important part, right? I mean, winner of this entire game will eventually, at least bare minimum, get that 70 points. That's going to be, you know, something that they should be having a foundation of, because both Reckoning and SA2L, last time they were at the 4th and 5th position respectively for Split 1. So both of them would be eyeing out for at least this top 3 positions to eventually move to those Ascension qualifiers, which you perfectly mentioned, because only one team will qualify for Ascension, but 4 teams will have a chance to at least duke it out at the last stand.
And it has come down to this, right? SA2L coming off from a very tight victory against Global Esports Academy. UV played his hats out. G Academy falling a little short. Their journey ended. And Reckoning versus .exe, it was a flurry of emotions where Reckoning, it was a very even matchup till the third game showed up, where in Sunset, Reckoning outplayed .exe to secure them that spot. But we talk about today's schedule. It is just one best of 3 that's going to satiate your hunger for good Valorant, because both these teams might have had their ups and downs, but now they are back. You know, all the players, they're firing on all cylinders. Whatever was missing has finally been fixed. So I'm pretty sure this is going to a third map. There's no second thoughts about it. Yeah, I'm going to be out loud and clear, and that's how I want that podium spot to be decided, right? It should not go one way.
It totally depends on the kind of veto which we will see eventually, because if we are looking at the amount of pool both of these teams have shown, SA2L are far ahead than the other team, right, than their counterpart. There's only 2 maps that they have not shown yet, and that's Sunset and Pearl. But you know, we'll get into the in-depth discussion of the map veto itself. But one thing is for sure, that the firepower of both of these teams is on point.
The firepower definitely is, when you take a look at Reckoning Esports and Paradox finding some form over there. But again, when you talk about the 2 faces that have been riding high, it's BGG and Monnier. Deadly 10, he's been quite consistent. He's shown that improvement. He has a change in role. He's been doing really well as an initiator. But then Tricky, everything depends on what version of Tricky we're going to get to see. Yesterday in Sunset, he did find his form back, but is he going to carry it forward? That is the big ask for Reckoning.
He needs to activate, and his team needs to set him up for success as well in many situations. I've seen BGG giving out the calls in a way where he himself tries to take some of those early engagements, early fights, because he's confident in doing that. But yes, there are certain scenarios where he himself falls too. So I think so. That is going to be a crucial point, because SA2L is a team that does not forgive you. And considering that the team mostly plays on single smokes, he needs to be very vigilant, very smart. And yes, it's also going to fall onto the shoulders of Tricky along with the side of Paradox. We saw him rise up in the entire series yesterday, and I think so he needs to continue that form.
That split ace, I still cannot get it out of my mind. That was an impossible one. Still, they dropped that. But when you talk about SATL, it's been what a great journey for King Kappa. The most consistent player out of this lineup. He's been getting those constant MVPs. But yes, SATL did have a little bit of a change up in their chain of command. Of course, Hawks taking up that responsibility. But Maze, again, is the player to eye out for. Yesterday against Global Esports Academy, he was in pristine form. But then SATL is a lineup that looks quite balanced. They've got experience in the form of Helif, you've got Hawks, two big brains, and then Techno. He's always been that prodigy, and today is his day where he makes his mark. Surely would be quite gutted if he misses out on another LAN. So they're going to do whatever it takes to defeat a Reckoning. The thing is, who's got the most hunger in them?
And indeed, SATL is going to be super hungry. I've seen this team all the way back from the true Ripper days when they were able to qualify for almost every other LAN, but would eventually choke out in the finals and then had to settle down for that second place. Helef, Techno, both of them are trying their level best to get rid of that curse and move forward. And I think so with the two imports that they have, plus the new addition as well out here, they should be able to do it. They've constantly shown that promise. King Kappa's consistent performance, you've already mentioned it. Miz, however, on the other side, I'll be very honest, the expectations that we have from Tricky for Reckoning, I think so they fall in the same category for Miz in SATL too.
It's imperative that both the duelists step up, and along with that the entire team does. I think it's all going to fall down to who's woken up on the right side of the bed, who's going to connect those shots better, because both these teams have a perfect mixture of experience, of tactical minds, and also good mechanical plays. But when you look at this entire roster of Reckoning Esports, it's been tipsy-turvy, right? This is where, look at Tricky and Paradox. I think for Paradox, he took his own sweet time to settle in. Yesterday, we saw that, yes, finally he's regained some composure, that form. But for Tricky, today is where he proves himself, why he's the duelist for Reckoning. Deadly, he's been oh so good, but everything depends on BGG and Monet at the very core of things.
I mean, if you really look at it, BGG has got 21 first kills out there, while Tricky with 25. So yes, Tricky is the duelist, but BGG himself, he's kind of playing on that pseudo entry role in multiple scenarios, getting those aggressive fights too. But when we're looking on the other side of the spectrum, there's an entirely different storyline, right? Look at King Kappa. He's got 156 kills along with Miz with 147. 4 players in the lineup of SATL have crossed the 100 kill mark, while there were only 3, including BGG, Monair and Deadly 10, that were able to cross the 100 kill on the other side. Rest 2 on 80, while Hoax is also here on 92. So there's a big difference in terms of that burst in performance, while also, in terms of ACS though, that's where I see consistency on the other side rather than here.
See, honestly, on pen and paper, SATL looks much more solid, looks much more poised, but let's not rule out Reckoning from what we've witnessed yesterday. I think they've shown stamina, they've shown courage, they've shown bravery. We went to Sunset yesterday and you could see, right, them taking the map all over. But still question marks on how they could let go a split map which they were almost about to win. So yes, Reckoning, they need to calm their horses. They need to make sure they do not have those throwy rounds. They connect their shots, do not get overwhelmed, because this is something that Reckoning does a lot. They start off with a very good lead and suddenly the complacency sets in and they are always on the hunt for kills, and that is where I'm pretty sure Hellranger must have trained his boys to deal with it accordingly. So moving on, I think we do have Icebox. In fact, it's Reckoning's map choices that we've seen so far. Interesting. Icebox, they've got 100% win rate. They've got Ascent also, 1 game played. But Haven is where they played 2 games so far, 50%. So 1-on-1. Let's see how it pans out.
The main thing is, Lotus is having a 0% win rate right now. This was a map which they would love to play all the way back in Split 1. And on the other side of the spectrum, SATL, they played 2 games and this team has been looking super solid on Lotus. The
And
only two
Icebox both.
Yeah, exactly. And there's only one map, or rather two maps, where this team has not been tested. One is Pearl, second is Sunset. We clearly saw what Reckoning did yesterday on Sunset against their opponents, so I think so. SATUL, in terms of the veto itself, might not want to let it through. While if there's any other map, I think so they're going to be super happy with Icebox. Haven as well, they've got a 0% win rate, but I think so the game that they've played till now, it wasn't shabby at all. It was really good against the team that they played, and I think so it's very convincing to say that even if Haven hops up, I'll still put my bets on SATUL.
Somewhere down the line, I felt to. I feel like I have to beg to differ because I feel like Reckoning have one up in Haven actually. They've been playing a lot of Heaven. We see that the players are quite comfortable, especially with the kind of approach they want, right? You've got your controller, you've got BGG on OMEN constantly being, constantly pushing himself up for those early kills, those proactive setups, and we have seen that they have been doing that. And if it's not just him, even Monier has been doing. So it's all about trying to gain as much control, in which Reckoning has done a pretty good job. But let's see if Heaven actually comes up. It is going to be decided. The first game is going to be split, which is SATUL's pick. We saw that Reckoning had their struggles, so makes sense. And like you said, SATUL correctly banned Sunset. If you're not prepared, might as well throw it off the pool. But then Reckoning comes up with their comfort Haven draft. But then the decider heads off to Ascent, where SATUL, they've played once, I think, and they've lost that game.
Yeah, that's the only map where I think it's actually going to get dicey. If it goes to map 3, I think so. Reckoning might have a slight edge over SATUL. But again, looking at Split and Haven now, you mentioned about the fact that you still think Reckoning would be able to close out on the map of Haven. Now, there's one point that I really want to say which is going to agree with what you're saying out there, and that is that since they're running with that double controller, yes, their setups have not really been fully tested. Regardless of the fact if they've played it twice out there, I still think that there are certain ideas that they can bring. And since we're already on the topic of ideas, SATUL though gonna hop on with the exact same composition which they've got till now on this map of Ascent, while Reckoning itself is that Breach Teho Euro into the mix. They've also got the Cypher out here. I think so they're still gonna stick down to what they know for the best. However, it's all gonna fall down how well they're gonna play on that attacking round. They played 14 rounds on attack with only a 35.7% win rate. While you look at on the other side for SATUL, they played attacking side 24 times. Yes, the win rate is less than 50%, but then you turn towards the defense and there's an overwhelming difference out there. 70% of the times, or rather almost 71% of the times, we've seen SATUL win over there, while for Reckoning, only 57.
I mean, for Reckoning, I'm pretty sure after that loss yesterday, they must have, done their VODs and could figure out how they could better themselves at it. But Split is going to be an exciting one for sure. And this is a map where SATUL needs to win if they have to have hopes on qualifying to Mumbai. The Split 2 LAN as SATUL this time. They're going to be starting off on the attacking side, whilst Reckoning will begin with their defense. I think for Reckoning, it's all about what facet of Paradox and Tricky we're going to get to see today. Because yesterday, Tricky had been quite underwhelming in this particular match itself. He did regain some composure, but a lot might still say, right, Monier and BGG were so good that the pressure was absolutely lifted. .exe were mentally exhausted, and they carried on it. So eyes on the two duelists from both the sides. We've got Miz on that race and Tricky on that Yoru. How do they pop off?
It hops all down to the basic ideas of how you're actually going to play your defensive half out there. Again, 57% for Reckoning, and the reason is that their retakes with which how they were starting things off, right? That's where I think so the difference lies, because you always run out those retake simulators. There's a specific strat that you need to follow. One of the basic things is, like, if you're using an operator or an outlaw and you're a duelist out there, specifically Tricky, you throw it back to one of your player who holds an angle for you while you go and venture out, try to provide the opening on the side. Yesterday, when we were seeing Tricky in that one specific round where there was a Viper ult on the other side by .exe, Tricky had every single utility out here to try and take that fight. He had the shorty, but he still carried the operator, so there was no second layering behind it. And eventually, since he had the operator, he could not really take a head-on fight with anyone who was in the Viper's pit, even though they had the information of 3 players who were close by. So I think so it falls down to those retake sims, and I really hope that Reckoning have polished that, because there were quite a lot of loopholes back when these people were playing. And to be honest, SATUL is a team that is unforgiving in that. King Kappa, he finds his insane timings.
One other player we need to talk about has to be Helif from SATUL, because we've seen so far their stats, and in fact his personal individual stats on the map of Split has been quite good, right? We've seen Helif popping off, we've seen him being very deadly in those pistol rounds.
Yeah.
So eyes definitely will be on him, and he does carry some experience, he knows how to handle that pressure. So that is really going to come into play. Hoax, like you said, right? He loves shot calling on Split, and he's got Haven also. But, you know, Haven is a different story altogether, folks. In just a wee while, we'll get back to this game finally beginning. And it's going to be an exciting one at that.
I like the fact how you mentioned about Helif's position and position as well on this map, right? Last time that they played on Split was against Global Esports Academy. Yesterday we saw that map 3. Helif had the second highest, or rather the third highest ACS in his team.
Yes.
That was 231. Again, 16-12 out there on that record. It clearly showcases that Hoax's calling has relieved a lot of pressure off of his shoulders, and he's also able to focus on his individual performance. If that continues today, yeah, Reckoning they should be ready up for a trouble right now, because either ways, SATUL are focusing down on mid, while Reckoning, they want to push out the extremity specifically.
Alright, it finally begins. Make sure you let your predictions know as Paradox this time around the vents. King Kappa again gets that perfect opener. This is what SATUL wanted, as BGG holding down.
Still here.
Area, 3 players still poised. The dark cover keeping them at bay. Around the mains, also intend to push in. SATUL, they've got everything online as BGG, an important Cypher pick off. But this is what I was talking about. Helif being very deadly in terms of those pistols. Gets those connections. And now Munir. It is a head-to-head tussle between the two as Reckoning will prevail. Quick rotation from Tricky there, being at the right place at the right time as Reckoning get the pistol.
Bit of an impatience out there from King Kappa back when he was trying to drop. Techno had the paranoia ready, threw it out. It was just the timing which BGG was able to catch and quickly getting one out there. And then eventually the cavalry are pushing out of the mid, or rather the B main. They were half a second late. If they were a bit more early, I think so. Even that second pick on the side would not have fallen, where Techno had to just hold on his breath for a second. But Munair, a big play from the man. A 2-piece out there from back of the side. Eventually forcing SATUL to bow down against them now. Ooh. Fangle.
Spot quite low, and BGG. That's not allowed. And he gets a
What?
third. 3 players of the smoke. Somebody check his PC. Oh my goodness.
Alright, BGG. Alright. Okay, fair enough. Gonna let that slide, right?
No, that's not fair.
We
That's
can-
unfair.
We're still gonna let that slide. It's alright.
How do you do that? How do you recover? That's mentally shattering, but
He missed the entire spray when he was watching the guy, and then suddenly his last bullet hits the head. He puts in a new mag with some magnetic bullets or something like that that actually hits on his skulls. Phenomenal out there, but all right.
there's a specific terminology for magnetic bullets, but just jokes apart, finally it's going to be SATUL's buy. They need to have a quick mental recovery, and it's okay. SATUL did not have a lot of commitment there, but it's a full buy, and seems like Monier this time has taken on commands over that mid area, still playing with Paradox.
The second prowler out there, which has not really spotted the tripwire. This outlaw in the hands of Tricky is going to be crucial. There's options.
Oh, instant DP there. Good stuff. This is what we wanted. This is what we expected out of Tricky as he keeps on getting deadly. Just having the right start to set him up as Miz under a heap of pressure as Reckoning Esports will successfully scout him, and Monier dinks him with that judge. Just his serve as Helif Techno, 2 players alive against the world. It's turning out to be a flawless bonus for Reckoning so far. And now it is all down to Techno and maybe his heroics. But it's not gonna matter as Tricky makes it his playground of 4K as Reckoning get the bonus, take the weapons, and get the third round.
They're gonna run away shopping as well, as you perfectly mentioned. This is not the kind of Reckoning we saw yesterday. This is a revamped Reckoning. SATUL on the other side though, struggling to keep things afloat. Helef was the only individual man trying to pull in some kind of fake to show the mid presence where he used both the prowlers, but since there was nothing on the back of it and there was constantly a tripwire out there in mid, that eventually enabled Tricky to hold his position down as well for a bit longer there, and he had his TP to run away. And he quickly did that, got the opener, and then again a couple of players with a half shield probably came. Hoax out there was also taken down by that outlaw. Matching the value this weapon gave you out in the previous round, and he's carrying it for this round as well. But SATUL focus down over towards B. Aggressive play, and Monet finds the first one.
Oh, Reckoning, they're just walking off with it. And finally, Miz finds an answer. But still not the better weaponry, and Tricky. He's starting to feel himself, but Miz on the other side doing equally well. But BGG is standing tall as a rock. Miz dealt with. And now Miz, all alone, needs some support. They're trying to get the wrap around. You could see Tricky and Paradox so poised, but no. SATUL, they finally switched gears. They're going on a different route. Oh no, they're coming back after BGG. And does he have an idea?
I love the smoke, and I love it. It's so deep that actually isolates that avenue out there. Hooks really actually has an aftershock, so might want to put it out there maybe just to force BGG in an awkward space. But the smoke provides him enough room to play around with it.
Hooks, he's gonna get that swing. Finally, two men peeking, and finally BGG gets dealt with. Leaves everything too Tricky, and he's up for the task. This is what we wanted from Tricky. He's heard us, and this is what Reckoning needed. 4 rounds back to back. So Reckoning, they're off to a flyer start, and this is where their true test finally comes, right? We've seen that complacency set in. I just hope they keep stomping through, but for SATUL, they really need to have their heads back to place. Where's the timeout?
I think so after this round, if in case SATUL let this one slip through as well, we'll probably see that timeout. Right now it's going to be another full buy. Finally, that outlaw is out of the hands, and the reason is because now Tricky has got the dimensional drift and quickly scanning way towards the B. He's Techno. Oh my god! What a cover from Helef!
Nice. This is what Helef is known for. As this time Reckoning, they've got a chink in their armor. But Deadly, he makes up for it, and BGG changes his position, catches SATUL off guard. And just like that, the early advantage taken off. King Kappa will have to be a hero, and a hero he becomes. But is it going to be enough in a 3-on-3 where the spike is headed towards A? As A still being guarded by BGG all by himself as Techno. He's going to find that opener, but Deadly denies him that luxury.
For bait and switch there. But they're still going to move over towards the A side, and BGG, his position becomes even more crucial.
Got a ton of utility to play with, but does not matter. Hooks quick on the triggers, opens the site up, they'll get the plant.
King Kappa needs to control the ramp, he needs to control heaven.
He has to. No other choice, has to be at the best of his game right now. As Deadly and Paradox double down, both holding on to the side, and Deadly will get that kill. And King Kappa, like you said, a perfect control at the right place, at the right time. And he will get it home for SATUL. The first round coming off after 4 rounds, and this is something that SATUL need to bank on. And for Reckoning, again, you know, that little hasty play kind of backfiring.
So I'm going to give more credit to SATUL out there, specifically Helef, who's able to get at least save the life of Techno out there. Even though he got picked off later on, but he still was able to keep 2 people towards the B side. That gave an opening to the players pushing over towards the A to try and get that plant down. So Right now, another fast play. Oh my goodness, BGG, my man, still survives through all of that.
Refuses to die as the nightfall sets in. BGG's position compromised, barely at any HP at all. Will be put out of commission in this round. Monet has got Miz in front of him, gave his position. King Kappa knows, but he's flashed, and that's a nice reveal. Miz has been compromised absolutely, but Monet not overstepping at all. A 4-on-4 still. Spike yet to be planted. Hawks will get that deep done as Miz takes the danger man. Monet down and out. And this is where Deadly, Tricky and Paradox, a lot resting on them.
Operator in the hands, and that's the most difficult part for retake. Techno is going to play for late round out here.
Tricky wants to go in. Expensive commitment made from Reckoning side as Techno does open it up, but Tricky finds that quick trade. It's still a 2-on-3 situation. SAQL outnumbering them. Deadly tried his level best, but eventually SAQL wrap up another round. 2 on the board, 2 for the scoreline.
Important round for SAQL yet again. Finding that opener in mid first of all, trying to push out BGG in an uncomfortable spot. He had to leave the heaven space quickly. And then on the back of it, a spam from B main was able to finally catch him out. A heavy ult investment round with Nightfall as well as the Rolling Thunder, but at least they get the round back in their favor. They've also got the showstopper to play around with, and Miz is using the operator now to try and catch something early in this round.
Heavy investments around that mid area. Reckoning, they seem a little desperate. Now pushing a little deep. So far, all good. SAQL has really slowed the pace down.
Haven't really committed the spike anywhere though. Still just want to figure a few things out while King Kappa deals, or at least tries to figure out the setup of Moner towards the A site.
Yeah, they just know that it's one man. They do not know that there's Helef also, but Paradox does not need it. All he needs to do is spot some pixels.
Good
That's
discipline.
enough. And they back off. Finally, they realize making the same mistakes again and again won't work out.
Now it's on to King Kappa to try and equalize the odds out there.
Okay. From the shadows, Paradox out in the open, and King Kappa, he does not miss these shots at the very least. As Deadly 10, he has
Techno?
been amazing. And now King Kappa being denied. Techno, what an ult was that? Deadly 10 not having the best of HPs. Techno still gets it nonetheless. Miss will not be happy about the fact that his ultimate got wasted, but it's fine as long as SAQL get control on towards the A side. 10 seconds on the clock. Monier, the last man standing, and he will deny the plant. 8 seconds remaining, and Monier, he's doing so much, but is there enough time remaining?
BGG.
Techno's out of options, and BGG from the backlines comes in, and Reckoning, finally being disciplined, will secure themselves this round.
The smoke from BGG was everything that Moner needed in that situation. The control smoke for sight and Moner playing around with it picture perfectly. Denying the plant first as Hoax was there while rest of the players were covering heaven. That was a mistake from SAQL, but you do that in front of Reckoning and this is what they come up with. What a round, Moner and BGG. The imports just outperforming the ones for the other side. Everything SAQL did in the previous round was so good until that last minute.
Yeah, the last minute collapse. Pretty much running out of ideas, but Moner once again being the hero there. And Techno really running out of time, had no other option. He could pretty much see this one coming. And now they'll have to rethink their strats. They'll have to rethink their approach. They'll have to figure ways to deal with these two imports, and even if they do so, you've got the other three from Reckoning back in sublime form. So SATL, they'll have to step it up, and again, Miz, he's got to up his game at this point. King Kappa, he's been fine. Techno's been equally good, but Reckoning so far have been the better team.
The better weaponry this time around as well. Outlaw in the hands of Tricky. Pushed it up towards mid while the cavalry is going towards the A side. Trips out here. And a bunch of util being thrown, but still miss. Double satcheling in into on the side right now and an off angle out here, but it's the investment.
What? They make it look so easy. Reckoning Esports shredding apart SA2L, of course. Rolling Thunder committed. And yeah, Reckoning, all that was needed from their side. Enough to defend this push. And SA2L still bleeding, still hurted. At this point, 6-2 the scoreline. And now there will be that full buy. Not a single ultimate available. Whilst Reckoning, they've got their work cut out. Right, Scared? They know that they just have to be disciplined. They're hitting their shots and they're letting SA2L pour in and they're prepared. The setups have been very good.
I totally agree with that. And BGG, this is the third time this man is playing on this off angle. And it just feels like this SA2L are not adapting to it. And Reckoning are just rinsing and repeating the same thing again and again. And this time, they finally found the success out there.
He's got so many first bloods. Oh, this was not much needed. Good stuff. Tricky. Getting punished for such a dry peak. Has to be at this point. Paradox still alive there. That Horn does not catch him. Ooh, the tripwire, very important. But King Kappa dealing with Deadly, and now 3 players right in front of him.
Still goes 1 for 1.
Yeah, Munier still good, but SA2L this time, they finally managed to have some control over on towards the A side. They'll get the spike planted.
Bit of an indiscipline out there from Tricky. As soon as Paradox spotted a couple of players, he should have backed off. But a good punish from SA2L indeed. And then the pinch up on Monair, who decided to push out towards ramp this time around. 2v3 now. And a bunch of util in hand.
BGG, he has to deal with Miss. At times really running short. And now Paradox has to take care of these two. Will fail to even take one, but BGG trying to trigger the diffuse. Now BGG has half diffused it. He survives the onslaught first, but now going for the full diffuse. There won't be enough time, unfortunately, as SA2L, by the skin of their teeth, they somehow managed to get the third.
Paradox had to get one out there in heaven. He had everything, but still got overwhelmed by a couple of players out there. Shots going astray, and SA2L on the back of it, buying enough time. This was actually a pretty decent idea out there, getting control of the B heaven and then moving over towards the vents to try and pincer the player who's playing aggressively over towards the A ramp. I like that macro calling. And on the back of it now, 3 players sticking together towards the A side while SA2L decide to go. Maybe King Kappa.
Oh, Tricky out in the open, out in the wild, but does not matter. Has an helping hand. It's going to be enough as Monier finally gets the push coming on him. He's ready. Neural Theft deployed, but he's been dealt with. SA2L being very fast on towards that B execute. Oh, Paradox! Lovely stuff. Just a little information is all he needed. That second take out of that Neural Theft, enough. As now Tricky trying to thwart them off, and SA2L unable to get the plant as Armageddon has also been committed. Tricky right in front of Techno, and Techno good for 1. But gets traded, everything rests on Hoax. The IGL himself will eventually fall, and Reckoning scoop that 7th.
This is a reawakened Reckoning right now, and the defensive plays have been perfect. Using those ultimates in unison as well, waiting for SA2L to commit those mistakes and not giving them an inch. I like the ideas from them. Goes there. Diligently taking the map control and then transitioning it into a perfect mid-round call.
My eyes are down.
And a stack towards the A side of 3 players while BGG and Monair, this is going to lock down this B. Setup changing a bit out there. Maybe an opportunity for King Kappa to lurk up and make something out of there, but here's the thing. Don't really have the weaponry to do that. Miz has got the showstopper this time around, so they're probably going to go for the same pinch play. It's been denied at least for now.
Trying to get some control around mid. Reckoning gives them that space. They're happy as long as they have the site secured.
Watching this spot.
Pain chills coming out.
Here.
Monet, he's got his spy cam up, and BGG is playing on that info. BGG trying to
What a
regain
timing.
some control, and timing is of the essence, and Deadly present there, and now SA2L absolutely being held on a chokehold as King Kappa and his heroics. Would it matter? Oh, gets one. The second's gonna be a fake, and now Monet gets a weapon retrieved. But now look at Hopes, the last player gets deleted.
Last round.
Seems like this one's actually going to be a faster series than we actually anticipated, my man, because the split pick was of SA2L, and next one will be going on to Haven. That's going to be a reckoning pick.
Glad that you brought it up, and now I'm certain we're going for a third map. You were the one who was constantly beaming about the fact it's going to be 2-0 yesterday. We all saw how that aged, right?
You're happy about that.
I was extremely happy, and now that you brought it up, that has made me happier. So, for all the SA2L fans, you know, gotta show some love to Skate. He's been jinxing it out, and for all the right reasons. But for Reckoning, they aren't really going to be pleased. But Paradox, look at the change in pace coming in. That Prowler was so necessary, but BGG, does he even care? Gets hooks off, the IGL shut down, the head cut off as Miz with the showstopper is not going to find anybody. Pretty much enraged, and yeah, he spots that. He knows there's a lot of Reckoning bodies out there in front of him. But BGG, this is disgusting as the spike has fallen down. Reckoning, it's just walking away.
How does the always find the spike at spawn, man? That's my question. I mean,
This time it actually came off for player.
it's still almost same.
They did not pull off a
place.
.exe
Oh
at
my.
least.
Alright, fair enough.
But still, .exe managed to win that game. So, a lot of ridiculous things have happened in Salvage and Valorant, but BGG now poised. He knows 3 men are coming right at him.
Yeah.
Fault line deployed, and BGG just too good. Gets his 4th as well. Now just give him the ace. Miss. Come on, at this point, 1 against the world, and yes, there you go, BGG. Captain Cool finishing it off in style. 9-3 the scoreline. Throwing the curse out of the window. I mean, what do you do? How do you bring the topic of a curse up when you already have a curse mark right on your neck?
Maybe you try and pull an Itachi out there.
That still did not work out. Yeah, but
The blade of Totsuka.
okay, fine. I have to revise my Naruto knowledge.
Oh
but,
my god.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to
It was
all
such
the
a
Naruto fans
good
right there.
reference.
I'm so sorry. I'm
It's
so
alright.
sorry.
It's
I'm-
alright. It's alright.
You
I mean,
know, I'm getting old. I'm 30 right now. That's something I used to watch back when I was 15 or 16, so it's been a long time. But, oh, alright, fine. Getting back.
it's alright. You know what? The most important part about the entire thing is that SA2L had more defensive round conversion win rate back when we saw their stats, and I think so that could be at least a ray of hope for them to try and pull something together. But it's all going to start on the back of this pistol round, and their read is actually right.
Imagine Reckoning being so good on the defense and attacking. This is their hunting rounds, right? Paranoia just to tip them off a little bit. Guided salvos followed up. 3 men round at B, and Reckoning changed their course. This time, trying to explore mid.
For an A split this time around, because look at the spike all the way from A, so anyone playing Heaven, it's going to be in difficult spot, folks.
Oh, Hoax timing. That's nice. A good start nonetheless.
Cage triggered.
Deadly caught off guard. Now
Kappa.
King Kappa, he's got to spew his magic. Surely has to for SA2L to stage that comeback. This round has to be important. And yes, they're doing that. King Kappa gets a multi. Helef also stepping up. Enough to earn themselves the second pistol. 9 for the line.
Anticipating the gap that they left in their defense and then moving on the back of it. Enjoying the best play out here with the IGL. But for all the people who are enjoying this game, there's another offer for you guys. You can enjoy savings of up to 87,000 with the OMEN laptops, and it comes power packed with the i7 processors with 5080 RTX, something that you do not want to miss out. Quickly scan the QR code for more details and check out those amazing OMEN laptops. Another info, you can get HyperX headset as well. That's worth 11,000. This is only 499.
Yeah,
Don't tell this to Shadow.
And it's wireless.
It indeed is wireless.
Yeah. Hate the cables these days, right? But now coming back, 9-4 and Reckoning with Vanilla by nothing on them. Just mere classics. But
Not even trying to do anything out here.
you know, still, as long as BGG and Monair are alive, doesn't matter what weapon they have on them. I've seen ridiculous things, so I'm gonna hold on and let them cook for a while. But for SA2L, you would ideally anticipate this round to go their way. Techno, he's got his Paranoia up and ready. Helif to follow up if push comes to shove.
5 people out here, my goodness. And Techno, this Paranoia could be so big.
Yeah. Dark cover comes in, he knows it's his cue. They are trying to squeeze it, and this is what I was talking about. Monnier is still there. Now, Helif's weapon has been retrieved, and suddenly they get the side. Reckoning, this is not supposed to be allowed. BGG on that Helif weapon, he finally gets the third one. And all the advantage that SA2L ever dreamt of has been taken away. Now, resting on Hoax and King Kappa. King Kappa has got an outlaw to play with. Surely those individual shots will connect. Finds one, gets another. Hoax will even out the numbers. And Hoax saves the day. And this could have been a debacle and half.
It almost was. If not for the chip damage on all 4 players, this was a lost cause for SA2L. But again, Hoax and King Kappa bringing their team back from the slumbers. Still showing that the hunters can also be hunted.
Oh my god, imagine had Reckoning won this round on just mere classics. That would have shattered SA2L completely.
That too where BGG was spending the first 20 seconds just jumping in his spawn, pressing Y on the keyboard so that he can show off his knife. They almost converted that round as well. Again, some big mistakes from SA2L out there. Again, they're giving a lot of real estate to the members of Reckoning.
True.
And that basically means their rotation will be slow on the side. They will not get any major information until the players are right on their faces. And I think so. The last round was a wake-up call for SA2L to now realize that they can't really let Reckoning roam around wherever they want to so freely.
Wrong going out.
Finally a buy. Reckoning's really happy with how their economy has shaped out. King Kappa compromised and BGG. Come on, you are the goddamn controller. On the defensive side, he's been proactive. This time also getting that first kill.
Who's gonna tell him that?
I mean, it does not matter what agent he's on. As Helif, little shot on that timing, gets punished. Guided salvos come in, and Hoax.
Flawless conversion seems
Reckoning
to be on the
at this
cards.
point are making a Mickey out of SA2L. I'm not gonna be even capping this.
Mickey?
Yeah,
Alright.
just playing around with them.
I see.
Yeah, so
Another
Techno and Miz, 2 men alive. And Miz. Alright. Okay, BGG. He's got Techno in front of him. Techno, finally, thank you.
Remaining.
Something for him, but a lonely straggler. Fought off by Monet and Reckoning. Just like that. Get the 10th.
denying the flawless out there. That's the only thing you've did. But Reckoning are going to be super happy carrying 4 weaponries forward in the next round. While SA2L should be okay as well. Didn't have a proper buy out there, but yes, these are the things again. Same mistakes, same problems. giving too much walking space to Reckoning. And eventually SATUL are then left to play a guessing game. It sometimes might work, sometimes it might not. Now here's a big difference, and a stark difference rather, that I noticed between Monair and King Kappa. And that was the fact that King Kappa almost had, what, similar first bloods as to Miss, just a few away. While if you were looking at Monair, he only had 8. Now both the players, they're playing sentinel role, right? They're playing someone who does not really take the first contact, or is more on a flank, or is more kind of that controlling a specific part of the map entirely. King Kappa does not fear in taking those fights. If anything, he wants to take those fights, even if he's on the defensive side. Now when you're playing against a team whose mechanics are a little shy as compared to yours, yes, that works out. But when you're playing against a team like Reckoning, who are very crispy on their aim, I don't think so King Kappa is going to get as much success as he normally would. And I think so him being quiet for so long is also one of the same thing.
This is where he has to shine, but he's not had enough rounds on defense so far. His stats still quite good, but Techno only good for 1, but Miss, he has to step up. He has to step up big time. Will not be given that avenue as the flash comes in. Reckoning again, outmanning the players of SATUL. Will have no trouble whatsoever securing that plant. Hawks and King Kappa around the ramp, they will come down. Little do they know that they're in a pinch. Oh, position given away. Deadly. Yeah, everything rests on him and his timing, and he's not gonna miss. The shot's precise. This was a very important round if you look at the grand scheme of things, Ked. Because look at this. Look at the buy of SATUL now. They're pretty much in tatters.
Absolutely. In terms of the strategy as well, like, and letting Reckoning walk freely, I cannot mention this fact time and time again. Every single part of the map has been freely explored by the Wolves. Seems like they're owning this entire territory. And they're hunting like a pack.
And what a time to find your cruise back, and you have a point.
BGG's outlaw.
Okay.
Alright, Miss. Alright.
BGG had an outlaw.
That works. That works. Now
So
things are gonna
it's
change.
officially confirmed that you are the curse. You're the embodiment of the sealed mark.
I just pointed out that he's got an outlaw. I didn't
look
even
at
say
the
he's
flow
gonna
of
get a pick.
events.
Oh my goodness. Reckoning are gonna win this map.
Yes, more like it.
Wow.
But
Wow. And if they win,
we'll put it to test, right?
if they win,
I mean, let's say it's your curse against SATUL. At this point, King Kappa, he's going to be flushed out a little bit. And there you go, a dink on Monet. Exactly what SATUL needed. As still, Reckoning want to push this through. And there you go. Hawks gets a kill, but Deadly, he will trade
30
him off.
seconds left.
Reckoning do not have the numbers anymore, but still bent on pushing
Last
through the
player
A side. The
standing.
paranoia for a follow-up, and King Kappa almost pulled out a thrifty, tricky, valiant effort, but there you go. SATUL, the 6th. I'm not saying anything.
long way to go. That's all I'm gonna say. But here's one good thing, right? For now, no need to smirk like that, my guy. Now, since SATUL have already got the showstopper up on board, and they're still just a couple of points away from their own big ultimates like the Rolling Thunder as well. I think so in the next few rounds they can maintain that control back up, because Reckoning, yes, they've got Dimensional Drift available, but they also have got their own Rolling Thunder and Armageddon 1 point away each. This round's gonna be super important for both of these teams, and seems like LF really needs to run away and survive.
Oh, LF, this is lovely stuff. He does not at this point. SATUL, they needed a hero, and everybody suddenly seems to have stepped up. Monier, though,
They're blind
gets a
with
trade.
fear.
Numbers still favoring SATUL at this point. Spike drop down around at A site and 3 players through ramp into the towers. King Kappa prepared, but Monet a cut apart. The trap wire spotting one out. Paradox. Oh my god. And now Reckoning have a little advantage, but still the only concern, Spike not really in their control.
Yeah, but again, they've created a big question mark out there. Hooks
Right there.
and Helef, since Helef does not really have a lot of HP, can really literally die to just a tripwire damage.
Stand your ground.
Both got to re-clear it properly on the back of the flash.
Remaining.
Hooks, Helef, they both find their openings, and this is falling for Reckoning.
This is falling apart bad time. Monia, the last player, and SATUL. They have their day saved. Still live to fight another day here. Few more rounds, 7 on the board, and Reckoning now. Their economy has been broken apart. Couple of sheriffs, a hero vandal on BGG, and a bulldog on Parrot.
BGG carrying out that spike. Now that from the shadows plays was nice, smart, but again, it is risky. Without any information hopping onto the side. Yes, there was a dimensional drift, but again, it did not clear enough space for you to fully commit to the from the shadows. And that spike falling out there, a big problem. Lovely off angle from BGG, standing upon that frog, catching the head of Helef.
And this is what
Gamakichi.
you were talking about, right? BGG is so deadly on that operator if needs be. And for SATUL, it's looking a little concerning.
Now mid is again a bit more open out there. The map is looking thin. You've got a couple of trap fires. One is watching for any kind of A-ramp push, and the second one, it's more like a kill trip over towards side for Hooks to play around with it.
And this is something that SATUL really did not have the read about. An operator in such a round on BGG. Okay, drones deployed. Maze, he's got to be prepared. Has his position compromised. Surveillance has been done. And simply checks off mid. Has to run away from here. Still gets dazed. And now Deadly 10 will
30
push in
seconds
accordingly. Techno inside the dark cover. Maze being dealt with by Monier as the pour comes in. Reckoning. Again having a
player
very good
standing.
lead in this round as Deadly
Spike planted.
gets that sheriff conversion and Hoax against the world. Starts off pretty well, but Deadly does not miss. And a 12th on the board for Reckoning.
Another good round out
Match
here.
point.
On the back of BGG's opening with the operator, they were able to create that gap and then anticipating where the Cypher setup is going to be. They moved over towards the other side. There was a call in the rotation for SATUL though, where I saw Techno moving away from the B side, going towards A, and I believe the main reason was because Miz had the full B main control. But again, that being stolen away on the back of that Teho drone. Actually led to their device.
There.
Good fault
Spike
line out
drop.
there. Stopping up a couple of people.
Spike drop.
This deep smoke is going to help Techno maintain the control of B main at least for some time. Though he does not know it.
Could potentially be the last round. But you need to say those magic words. Say that Reckoning's gonna win this.
Yeah, Reckoning are going to win this.
Alright, thank you. And now, Miz, prepared. And there you go. A take, but still deadly. He cares less about the curse anymore. He believes in himself. A 4-on-4 situation. And look at Monet. Still round A. He's on the lurk. He's got King Kappa to deal with. You've got Hawks just playing around his spawn, waiting for the influx to come in. And look at this, Reckoning deciding to head towards A.
Now the Cypher setup has not really been dealt with till now. Heaven, there's a trip. The
30
camera as well,
seconds
that's
left.
gonna watch out for all the people and the trip fire on site. Again, a kill trip. Try and get someone out here. There's a tag. What a setup, what a play!
Hey.
And King Kappa almost saving the day for his team, but a good trade from Paradox.
A good trade, a 3-on-3 situation
10
where
seconds
Reckoning
left.
have control over the site, running out of time. they will secure the plant, and now the onus on SA2L. They will have to commit, otherwise this map is over.
Moner.
At this point, Moner, look at his positioning. Haunt laid out, followed up by a Paranoia, and Techno will get the job with a Stinger. Far from converting this round though, as Paradox, he needs to step out, he needs to deal with Hoax, but shots coming in from Heaven there. And now Tricky, he's got to make the play of his life. Techno still gets one, and hell of interesting stuff as SA2L get a retake and another round secured, and I have a smile on my face.
A ton of util dump out there on Moner, anticipating his position on the ramp. That was the key play in this
Yeah,
round.
right, sure.
Using the Haunt along with the Paranoia.
Absolutely.
Fully blinding the guy. Oh my goodness. It feels
Folks,
like
I'm not making this up.
I think
It's
so.
in front of you.
You know, I think so. There's not one, but rather two pair of eyes staring down at my soul right now.
No, it's a lot of people, especially SA2L fans.
I can't see them.
Just yearning to tell you that Reckoning's finally gonna close this one in this. Let's test it out, okay?
Alright, Reckoning will win in this round.
Oh, perfect.
Wait, hold on. They don't have the buy. This does not count.
It does
Maybe in
not
the next
matter.
one.
I
Maybe in the
remember
next one.
on Mare Classics what they could achieve. But King Kappa changing his position. This time Tricky and BGG both out in the open, and Helen, he secures an opener. Deadly still gets the trade. And now he's got a fault line around the Heaven. Hoax being so deadly. And Deadly and Paradox feeling quite lonely
Spike down
as
mid.
King Kappa will reduce Reckoning just down to the final man. Deadly 10, young lad against the wall, does not have the control over the spike as SA2L. The numbers will follow up.
my question is, how was he able to get King Kappa and not Hoax, who was right in front of him? King Kappa had 3 layers of covering in front.
Yeah.
And even after that, he falls. It just feels like the bullet specifically found him, but it's alright.
It's alright. In the grand scheme of things, Reckoning, they're on the map point, and SA2L almost on the verge of making a comeback this round. Very important for them, and we want to see OT, so Scared. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness, this is bullying.
I'm not bullying, I'm just making this game more interesting.
Absolutely.
Okay, Techno. That was not necessary, and the golden words did not come off Scared this time. So you see where I'm getting with this.
Yeah, well, I've said it. SA2L will push it to OT, right? I've said it for the entire map now. Now let's see.
Sheesh.
It's 4v.
Sheesh.
4v5 right now.
All right. I mean, some nice DMs coming to you today. If somebody is watching,
It's fine.
make sure you
I've
keep note of
casted.
that. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Let's get back to the round. So Reckoning, they have switched angles. They have decided maybe B is where they find themselves comfortable at. We'll find an operator
Oh
on
my
this.
God.
But King Kappa being present, Tricky dealt with, and now King Kappa has got 3 players right next to that cyber cage, but the guided salvage to come in. BGG just a cut apart, but Miz still holding on. That operator singing songs of death as BGG still so good. A 3-on-2 situation, and Reckoning still have a lot of time to play around. Hoax, he has to anchor down at B. He's got 2 players in front of him. Now, spike planted. And SA2L, they'll have to prolong it a little longer. Hell of the Hoax. They'll have to work in unison, but BGG will deny them the luxury of the same. And Monet gets the final and Reckoning the round. And you call for an SA2L OT, and we know how that aged Scared. So clearly, still apologies there, pretty bad jokes going on because there was not much going on in this game. Reckoning really had all that control. Few signs of resurgence from SA2L, not enough, as Reckoning best SA2L in their own map.
I think so. Reckoning, they were just not able to showcase what they had in their mind yesterday on the map of Split. So maybe SA2L thought they're going to replicate the same thing that .exe did. But no one really thought that it's going to be this difficult, to be very honest now, with the way how everyone on the side of Reckoning were hitting their shots. And also on the back of just having those good ideas. And overly simplifying things out there, not really overcooking anything, just simply looking at a couple of avenues and being like, alright, since it's empty, let's quickly hop onto this kind of execute. And they were following that up as well. The big reason for that was, again, SATUL were not taking the real estate, and if you're leaving mid open, you need to push one of the extremities out in split. That was not happening, while Reckoning were constantly doing that in their defense.
Yeah. I'll try to, simply summarize this. What I felt was SATUL had no answer for BGG. They just let them walk away with whatever they wanted to do. For Reckoning, it was tricky, giving them a really nice start. And what do you do against two such cracked imports? Even King Kappa could not pose a threat. Yes, he had his moments. Yes, he had those kills. SATUL were caught napping, but it was just a name diff. Like, Munir, imagine Reckoning come up with just 5 classics and almost had that round converted.
Yeah.
Almost.
And that too, when they just decided, you know what, let's go to B main, let's take the orb, and guess what?
And SATUL were giving them so much respect. They were not countering them back, they were not hammering them down. It was all about Reckoning dictating the tempo and SATUL always trying to adapt to it, which sort of was their kryptonite.
Just giving up too much space out there.
Yeah, too much respect.
And hoping for a hero play maybe eventually to save the days. Were good for a couple of rounds, but not for entire game. And again, BGG 23 total kills in this one with an ACS of 277 and 6 first kills. There were certain rounds when BGG was picked off and I was like, alright, SATUL are they're gonna win this one now. There's no smokes on the other side, but guess what? There was still Paradox on the other side.
Yeah, I think for Reckoning now, they must be pretty pleased. But that's it, right? For Reckoning, the only problem is they get swayed away very easily, heading on to Heaven with the way they started off. It feels like SATUL, they'll have to really, really wake up. Because BGG, you cannot let this happen, right? A controller, 23 kills, and they were not even tested till their entire limit. For a moment, I felt like Reckoning weren't even sweating at all. There were some changes, some tweaks. Throughout the entire course of the matchup, Reckoning always felt ahead of the league there. And look at this, 14 first kills. 14. That kind of goes on to show the kind of respect that SATUL were giving to Reckoning. And Reckoning just by embracing their hands, they were like, thank you so much, sir.
They played 10 rounds in the attack for Reckoning and they were able to get the side 6 times. That is a stark difference from what they showed yesterday. And the improvement is just impeccable. 4 conversions out there. They were able to get 9-3 on their defense. That's exactly all they needed. Lovely play coming in from their side. And again, it's not just BGG. Munir 275 on that ACS. Just 2 away. Else he would have stolen the MVP out here. Deadly 10, 19-14 and 15 on the breach. Look at the number of assists out there.
This is ludicrous. BGG, Munir 23 respectively. And look at their second least fragger, right? Tricky, he still has a KD of 1 plus, 16 on 14.
He's one away. He's one away from King Cup on the other side. I agree. I know you didn't want to say it out loud, and I know the expression that you're making says the same thing, but it is what it is. It was only Paradox who was down on the leaderboard.
And at this point, I really feel like, was Paradox even required there? Given the moment we've seen those step-ups from Paradox, he's back in good form. That ace yesterday was one for the history. I think one of the best aces I've seen.
He used up all the luck yesterday for the map of split.
It's fine. As long as they've got such a strong team, they've got all their players in good sync, does not really matter. And now, folks, we're at a junction where SATUL are just one map away from from getting eliminated, but all of that happens after this short little break.
Hold up. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again. I'ma always win.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage.
Renegade, Perisco, 24. Let them all blah with a kick home. I don't wanna pedal with an O3 kit, room, boom, up 400, that's roll. Got to see 100 the end move. Get lifted, body new bit cool. Let's do flat over your head. Body give another on me, oh, double nine. Telephone cut that rain. Shout out my son for the rain though. I don't want cut my lane. Running fist fire, scared no rest. Go pop one ring, go break one bench. I pop missile if I wish I put one pistol on my head. Was popping and popping, love in the morning. Blue come over to come in the morning. Vogue in the flick, poster forming. Confident boy want a halo on me. Jealous in the envy, all fill up in the air. I be hitting minute more when I'm on the air. Y'all boys so pitiful, wanna be my pet. Oh well, good boy, catch a bone on the stair. Renegade, Perisco, 24. Let them all blah with a kick home. I don't wanna pedal with an O3 kit, room, boom, up 400, that's roll. Got to see 100 the end move. Get lifted, body new bit cool. Let's do flat over your head. Body give another on me. Oh, scared of my life. Grape head flavor. Take all the vibes. Rice I send it. Pesky side. I need to spin it. Blind with a face, spin relay on this light. We gon' see where to take off. I am the chosen one, that's how I feel. I ain't tripping on rewind. The blessing I got from the angels around me are really some A1. I am the chosen one, that's how I feel. I ain't tripping on rewind. The blessing I got from the angels around me are really some A1.
Renegade, 为心将我包围。Renegade， 弄无自我击坠。娱乐下扣紧我外套，一辆车穿梭在轨道。你不想成为我目标 ？Renegade go on the more.
Renegade, Perisco, 24. Let them all blah with a kick home. I don't wanna pedal with an O3 kit, room, boom, up 400, that's roll. Got to see 100 the end move. Get lifted, body new bit cool. Let's do flat over your head. Body give another on me, oh, double nine. Renegade, Perisco, 24. Let them all blah with a kick home. I don't wanna pedal with an O3 kit, room, boom, up 400, that's roll. Got to see 100 the end move. Get lifted, body new bit cool. Let's do flat over your head. Body give another on me, oh, double nine.
I'm out here in the cold night, running till I barely feel my feet. Wanna see it through my own eyes. There's no going back, and I'm not afraid anymore. Cause I know I'm gonna be the last one standing. Yeah, I'm not afraid anymore. Yeah, I don't wanna wait anymore. I'm ready to fall, I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes, I'll run blind straight into the flames. Watch me burn, alone in the shadows. I'll carry you home on my back. If it's you or me, then I'll take the shot. Still they say I'm the villain. I'll scream and nobody listens. Still they say I'm the villain. Too bad you can't take me down. See that I'm surrounded by predators. It's critical, they got me in my element. It's dirty how you trying to keep it elegant. Keep my eyes open wide when everyone around me is an enemy. See my life cross my eyes. I'm ready to fall, I'm ready to rise up. me down. Too bad you can't take me down. You can't take me down. I'm ready to fall. I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes. I'll run blind straight into the flames. Watch me burn alone in the shadows. I'll carry you home on my back. If it's you or me, then I'll take the shot. Still they say I'm the villain. I scream and nobody listens. Still they say I'm the villain. Too bad you can't take me down.
Hold up. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. I ain't taking no loss, no loss, no loss. Look, I'ma always win. And I'ma do it again. Watch me win. Then watch me do it again. I'ma always win.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage.
The Wolves are out here in the tundra in their hunting grounds, and it seems like their prey is S8QL, who have fallen and lost a limb in that map 1. Maybe they can regain their strength and come back in map number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You're watching the OMEN Valorant Challenger South Asia 2025 Split 2, where now we've got a new face on the desk, and that's Shadow with us. Hopefully she's going to bring some luck for S8QL, because I am on a train that it's going to be reckoning 2-0.
Luck for S8UL? Really? I'm bringing the lady luck for the players of Reckoning. You were already jinxed the players of S8UL. Let's be honest. I saw the previous matchup and I was like, the minute Scared said S8UL are pushing the series to win overtime, I was like, yes, S8UL, you need to find a lady luck, or you need to find something that helps you out, because no matter what you do, this guy has jinxed you guys.
Wow. So is eventually Reckoning winning the map is because of my
It's a 2-0 in the favor of Reckoning.
We'll see. That's what I've already said since the first minute. But right now, you know what?
You have been supporting the players of S8UL, let's be honest.
No, I have been. I have not been. But alright. Here's the fun thing, right? I was on the S8QL train back when they played a pretty solid game against Revenant X-Park. But now it just seems that the way how BGG and Munair have been playing, they've been slapping the members of S8QL left, right and center and trying to wake them up eventually. It's 141 and 118 deaths out here with BGG. 141 kills. He's got 27 first kills.
Yep.
Shadow, he's a controller of the team, and mostly he plays as the solo controller. And if this is the kind of start he's pulling it out, I think so S8QL really need to find a way to shut this guy down. Otherwise, this train is actually gonna just constantly move away.
He's just doing BGG things. It's not the first time that we have seen BGG pull off something like this, especially that one particular round, if you remember, where the smoke was there and he was able to shut down 3 players of SA12.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Brave moves from the side of BGG, but it's not the first time. It's not the first time. He has been doing this every single time.
And now he's also got the support of Murar back in again. It seems like he was kind of a little bit absent yesterday in at least one map, but it just seems like he's now finally getting back on track, right? But since we are seeing BGG on one side, there's another player who's constantly been active for SA2L, and that guy has been King Kappa,
Yeah.
performing in every single game, even yesterday and even throughout the VCSA split 2. This man has stepped up big time.
Wait, certainly he has, and few of the rounds which SA12 was able to convert in their favor was only because of King Kappa. 17 kills in game 1, 17 in game 2. The consistency is there, but the ACS is where the difference lies. In game number 1, his ACS was close to 234, but it faced a little bit of the dip in the game number 3. It was 224. So overall stats of this player are looking really great, but he needs the support of his teammates.
Imagine when your ACS is dipping, that's when you're hopping down to 224, and when this guy is actually playing, he's riding the highest tsunami wave out there. But that's exactly what SA2L need right now. They need to find something. They need to pull a rabbit out of the hat, because it is the map of Haven. Normally, I would say that alright, it still is pretty good for SA2L, but I think so I'm with Fixes on this one. I think so. Haven is a bit more strong for Reckoning, considering the performance that they showed on the map of Split.
Please, please, for God's sake, don't jinx the players of Reckoning now. This is their own map pick, Scared. I have casted Split 1 with you. I casted the previous matches of Split 2 with you, and every single time you have been jinxing the team. So for God's sake, stop doing that.
Then let's move on to the agent select.
Yeah, please.
Gonna be a double smokes again, Reckoning, not changing a lot of things out there. While a double initiator composition for SA2L. Now, normally we see a Breach Steho. I know Spartus and Fritz really get happy on the back of it, but this time we've got a Breach and Sova. Along with the Neon, same thing. A different day, maybe a different story. We'll just have to wait and see. One big problem for this with SA2L in this composition is the fact that they cannot seem to gather the rounds on defense. They struggle a lot out there. 10.5% after the 8 rounds they've played. I probably think that's what, maybe one round that they've able to won out there, and they are starting on the defensive side, Shadow. I think so. Reckoning, they've got a very solid chance to snowball out there early on, but now that it's come down to the pistol, we've seen, I believe, the pistol record for both of these teams is 1-for-1 now, so the one who wins out here is going to take the lead.
4 goes towards the side of Reckoning, 3 towards the side of SA12. Techno is sticking to the classic and the half shield, but for now the players of Reckoning are taking the mid control, but it's only one player towards his B side who is being the anchor, and it has to be Hoax for now. But these initial frays are going to be so important. The concuss is there, and Miz on the back of it finds Tricky towards the garage. So the garage control is already out of the hands for the players of Reckoning, but the entirety of Reckoning, they are moving towards the A main and trying to get the A shot control. The drone is already there, and it spots the cipher of SA2L, and that is King Kappa, the man himself. It's not going to be easy for the players of Reckoning to take the control of A shot now.
Careful now.
Still going to push it all the way down on the side though. There's a Tripwire, and Helif is here for the support.
Well, certainly he is.
But hold on. SA2L are not really going and pushing out of there, because look at the position of Techno out there on C. Rather, BGG. Miz quickly answering back, getting both of the people, and on the back of it, they've also dropped the spike. All down onto the imports, and this time BGG. His ship will fall. Monair is going to stand for a while, but how much can you do with a classic?
A 1v4 with just a classic in his hand, and an aim to get the pistol round. He gets one, brings it down to 1v3, and good for only one. Techno will shut him down. The first pistol round goes in the favor of SA2L. I'm really happy to see that Fixes does agree with me that you are really the jinxer of the game of Valorant. It's not just me.
We'll have to see on that one, right? Because again, coming back to this pistol round this time, I loved how SA2L quickly pushed out of C long as soon as they saw a couple of players pushing out of the A. And I think so that is the space which they were not able to deny on the previous map. But this time, seeing them proactive on their defense, that kind of fills me with hope that maybe SAQL, they finally removed all the jitters that they were facing. It's going to be a full buy for them now. It's an outlaw, Handle as well into the mix. A couple of guardians into a bulldog. Looking forward for this entire round. Maybe want to convert it flawlessly.
Biz was a hero of the previous map and seems like this time again he's trying to get the first blood towards the B main. But the entirety of Reckoning is moving towards the garage, but Deadly 10 is down to 47 HP. This is not looking good for the players of Reckoning, especially considering the position of Hawks towards the A main. The entire information has been passed on to the players of SA2L. They're aware that Reckoning is going for an A hit.
They proactively cleared out the B main as well. So they've got the information that there's no one at least holding that space, inserting Deadly 10 down there in Sivers to hopefully see if he can find an opportunity, or rather an opening. 47 HP out there. He's going to be struggling there, while the rest of the Reckoning are rendezvousing outside of the garage.
They certainly are, and Deadly 10 also finds an opening frag onto Helef. But look at the HP of Munir, BGG and Deadly 10. They all are down to 37, 35 and 47 HP. This is not looking really promising for the players of Reckoning, but that initial frag is definitely helping their case. Right, Salvos and King Kappa with the Outlaw gets one, with the Ghost gets one more. 2v2 trades back and forth, but Munir is going for the plant.
BGG has gained out that Vandal now. That could be problematic. Yes, all the players low in the HP, but again, there's an Outlaw, and this Outlaw is going to one-shot both Techno and Hoax. Techno's got the paranoia to work with, but again, nothing else apart from that. Deadly 10 is a thorn, and he's going to bite him in the back.
Seems like a Thrifty is coming on the way as Munir lands a final blow onto Hawks with that Outlaw. Reckoning Esports has been able to convert the save round in their favor. A good Thrifty coming in.
Phenomenal one indeed, playing around the map so perfectly, taking the space, inserting a player in Sivers, Deadly 10 being the crucial factor, finding the opener, and then also getting the attention of Techno, then finishing him off. You know, he was more like, yo, Techno, I'm here. Techno turns around, bye. See you in the next round. Smacks right a headshot on his face. And if this goes on, SATUL are going to be in a horde of trouble.
I think they already are. They won the pistol round, but now they don't have the buy. It's a save round for them. Only pistols across the board. Sheriffs. If they are able to replicate what Deadly 10 did in the previous round, maybe there is a possibility of a Thrifty coming in. But this time, Reckoning, they are pretty much very careful. Because if you notice the change of pace from the side of Reckoning, they are clearing out few space. But BGG, can he get one? And he certainly does get one. And the second as well towards Ricky. Hawks gets one more. But Reckoning, they have the advantage also in their favor.
Phenomenal change out there. King Kappa, maybe he can find something. Eventually did, but does not anticipate the second. Paradox quickly getting the player out of there as well. Now it's a 3v1. They've got the info of where Hoax was. But the spike's still moving towards C. Hoax can get an opportunity, but does not anticipate. Paradox out there on the off angle. Reckoning. Things kind of got dicey early on a bit, but they were able to do the damage control.
Oh, they certainly were. And Monet's Viper's Pit is also just 1 point away. But looking at SA12, now they have got the buy. So this is going to be a really important round for the players of SA12. If they are not able to convert this one, the next 2 rounds will also go in the favor of Reckoning. But the way BGG was holding on to that angle in A main, for a second I was worried about him because 3 players were approaching BGG. But the way he was able to deal with all of them, well, certainly he got the round as well.
Viper Wall again provides you a good opportunity to lurk towards the Sivers without getting detected. And also, you can just put it up to create some question marks. And the rest of the cavalry moves around the other part of the map. That's exactly what Reckoning are doing. B-side seems to be the place, and they're quickly hopping in. Helef not able to stand his ground. As Deadly 10 answers back, King Kappa as well. Holding the space down in garage so that no early lurk can hop in. Hoax tries to go in for the spam as well. Tricky with the perfect support. Max makes it 2, not just 1, and it's all down to the Neon on the other side. of the other dimension. Maybe he can pull something off. He's definitely pulling a save out here.
Poison's off.
But will Moner allow that is the big question.
This is going to be important, and seems like Moner has been shut by Miz. And Miz gets the third one, a 3k for Miz. SA12. What is happening? Are we heading for an ace? Because Miz has got the overdrive as well. BGG already down to 14 HP. I think he's going to save the overdrive for the next round. But no time. And the round goes in the favor of Reckoning.
Another good approach. Slow approach over towards the B, leaving Deadly outside the garage to take care of King Kappa, and then bursting onto the side. Helif is way too far away from his Rolling Thunder, so these B side hits can actually work really well. And they've also kind of realized where King Kappa wants to put his Cypher trips. He hasn't really been putting it outside B main, and it's more or less like an open space for them. Even right now, it's only one side, one tripwire over towards the side, and that's a kill trip. But SA12 walking towards the A lobby, just like the previous round. The only difference is Miz, yes, he's the only Hero Vandal player. Rest of them, few Sheriffs on board, and Techno with the Hero Classic.
Let's see if that Hero Classic is going to go in his favor, because the entire situation seems like is in the favor of the players of Reckoning. Because they have got everything lined up. First wave of Util in the back of it. Tricky also shouts on the side. Anchor King Kappa. Now they can easily get the B control, but Helif also gets a trade onto BGG. That single controller which you were talking about is no longer there. The smokes are not going to be there for the players of Reckoning, but yes, Deadly 10 indeed a really important position. But the players are not even aware what is happening. Deadly 10, you can't bully the players of Reckoning just like this. And he does, he certainly does get both Miz and Techno, and obviously the round also.
The amount of patience out there from Deadly. My man just re-wrapped around them and just held on, took a sip of his favorite chocolate shake, and then was like, alright, now they're going in, let's finish them off. Jeez. That one's definitely going as a highlight.
It's going to hurt the players of SA12.
If they know about it. The thing is, they don't even know where Deadly showed up from.
They will know eventually after the match ends.
There's going to be another factor that's going to hurt them. More than this one, though.
Of course.
But
all thanks to you.
Right now, 4-1 approach out here. His ultimates on board for the other side. Miz with the overdrive, Hawks with the Hunter's Fury, and King Kappa randomly walks up, gets one through smoke, and casually walks back like nothing ever happened. And that is tricky, by the way. The duelist out of the mix.
And the overdrive as well. But BGG also finds Miz. Duelist for duelist trade is already there, but King Kappa also gets BGG. This is not looking good for players of Reckoning because BGG was required for this particular round. The Hunter's Fury also coming in, and it gets Paradox. Moner also goes down, leaving Deadly 10 all by himself in a 1v3 situation. Paradox did invest the ultimate also. It was indeed a ult-heavy round for the players of Reckoning, but the location has already been compromised for Deadly 10. Players of SA12 already know, and Kappa being Kappa gets a 3k, and the second one for the players of SA12.
This one was again on the back of King Kappa's first opening pick, right? You normally can't expect the same thing to happen time and time again. That he's going to randomly walk up to one of the smoke and then get a spam pick. In terms of the macro though, an important round for SA12. They needed this one. Maybe a bit of a confidence booster for them, specifically for King Kappa. This guy's been top fragging along with Miz, both of them finding a good amount of success, but Techno on the other side facing a lot of difficulties out there.
Still the players of Reckoning are trying for that A-shot control, but the trip fire from the side of SA12 is going to be a bit problematic for them. But there's only one side anchor, Hawks towards the A. Although Miz is also coming to help him out. Finally, the information has been passed on, and Miz has got his overdrive also. There. The players of Reckoning, they need to be a bit cautious from that one ultimate. Finally, that operator is also there, and it gets tricky. Tricky walks right into the crosshairs of Miz. And now Reckoning, they are left with only 4 players and no map control. But they have got the lockdown, and finally the lockdown has been invested by the players of Reckoning. But Miz also gets one. Monir, he was on a flank, he was on a lurk, and Miz instantly shuts him down. 2 players down from the side of Reckoning, but Paradox also gets Kappa, and Deadly 10 gets Miz. The trades are there, still a 2v3 situation for the players of Reckoning, as Deadly 10 equalizes a number by picking up Techno.
2v2 scenario right now. Things still
30
pretty
seconds
risky.
left.
Spike not down.
Bot
Time
coming back.
ticking. That's kind of the most crucial part.
One enemy
For
remaining.
graffiti and an angle. Deadly 10 finds the head of Hoax and probably the round as well. LF, the only guy, remains with a flash in hand and a dream. And they probably spotted him. Yeah, he's gonna run back. Or at least maybe try something else. But what can he do? 17 seconds for the fault line. He cannot wait for that long. Oh my goodness, the spam almost catching Deadly. 10 HP out, but BGG. The reposition, impeccable. There was an opportunity, but LF lost that one. And on the back of it, Reckoning catching another round. Not letting it slip away. But SATUL definitely are letting this series slip away, and also their slot for LAN. And for that, they've asked for another timeout.
Indeed, they really need this timeout because nothing is really working in their favor. They started on this map on a very good note by getting the pistol round converted, but after that Reckoning was able to pull off a save round, a thrifty indeed, and that did affect the confidence of the players of SA12, especially after what happened in the previous map. So SA12, they need to find a way to break the momentum for the players of Reckoning, but more than that, they also need to find a way to deal with the controller and the duelist of Reckoning, because BGG, the way this guy has been playing, it is impeccable like you said, and they need to find a way to shut him down.
I don't see any way for them to shut these two people down. If anything, now they've got to worry about one more problem, and that is Deadly 10.
Yeah.
So it's not just 2 people now, it's 3 of them. And if anything, Tricky has been finding pretty solid success in this map. Not from just a couple of rounds. He's constantly been active.
And Paradox util as well.
Always on point with that. Still remember how he got a pick with the Armageddon out there. Techno thinking that he's safe. He was not actually. Finally, SATUL deciding to take that map space away, take control, but B is left open. The understanding of Reckoning, it is just perfect. They're out-calling the members of SATUL right now. There's no other thing that's working out here apart from that. King Kappa's got the judge in the hand, but there's no point of having a judge if no one's actually showing up at your doorstep.
And that was the only win condition for the players of SA12, the judge. And of course, the Rolling Thunder of LF, which is 1 point up. If he's able to get an all point or kill, maybe the Rolling Thunder can help. But the way Monir is shutting down the players of SA12, 2 players already down. Seems like a 6-1 coming on board for the players of Reckoning. The judge is still there towards Kappa, but LF with a classic gets Deadly dead. And Kappa also gets 1, but Monir is going to answer back by getting a 3k. The Paranoia hits perfectly onto him. But despite that, Kappa gets 1 more. 1 weaponry already recovered by Kappa. Big tap on the spike. Let's see. The 1-2 situation. Kappa, can he be the hero? But seems like no. Monir is going to be the hero of this round. A 4k for him. A 6th round for the players of Reckoning.
Unstoppable indeed. Straightforward approach towards the B. No tripwire out there, and again a free sight. No weapons for SATUL to retake for that one, but this time an operator again brought into the mix. Last time Miz brought it in round number 7. He was able to find 2 quick success on the back of it.
Cover going out.
For the Rolling Thunder to complement that. This one round again as Reckoning. They hold their space. Not really pushing out. Still casually walking into the garage.
Oh, this operator can really hurt the players of Reckoning, but seems like he has been forced to reposition and survive on 1 HP. But Techno also gets BGG. The smokes are no longer there for the players of Reckoning in this particular round. But look at the way, the proactiveness from the side of Reckoning. They've got the entire A-long control, but now wants to get the control of the side. But 2 side tankers are already there, Hoax being one of them. The Aftershock is also there. The flash goes in. On the back of it, he gets Monair as well. Good concuss. Onto Tricky towards A shot. Now the players of Reckoning have been forced to pivot all the way towards B, because look at the position of Deadly 10. He has got the entire spawn control as well.
You can just throw out a turret here and probably look for the connector. Look at the position where he is. 1 HP on Miz. I
30
don't
seconds
anticipate
left.
him to have lurked up this far forward. Don't think so he's gonna get anything out of here. Misses the shot onto Techno. Still connects one eventually. Miz
Spike
trading him
planted.
out. He had to go big here. He had to get 2. Now the round seems even more difficult.
It's all down to Paradox and Tricky. But Paradox down to 13 HP. But
Player
Tricky,
standing.
he's going to be
One enemy
shining in this one as he gets 2. Paradox gets 1 more. But Kappa being Kappa shuts both of them down and has got enough time to go for the defuse as well. A third one coming for the players of Festival, all thanks to King Kappa.
Finally surviving by the skin of their teeth, S8UL. Clubbing together an important round. Holding their foot out, Techno finding a timing in mid on the back of the fault line. Still feel that the Rolling Thunder was used up preemptively. It's absolutely fine. Tricky did almost make this round up for his team by getting that collat and then activating the overdrive as well. But just the fact that the HP was pretty less. Now finally Fire is being added over towards B this time around to maintain that control. Maybe 1 for the garage. Surprise is out there, but Miz is the one who actually gets surprised. The operator down on floor. And so are the numbers.
Certainly, Deadly 10, BGG snatches the garage control from the hands of SA12. But taking 2 of their players down. It's only down to Helef and Hawks, 2 players remaining in a 2v5 situation. Reckoning, they've got everything. They have got the ultimates. And wait a second. Helef, he gets 2. Gets 1 more. Still a doable round. Helef has brought it down to a 1v2 situation. Can he clutch it out? But the answer is no, because whenever BGG, it's down to him to save the round. He always stands up and saves the round for the team. So 7th one for the players of Reckoning.
13 HP versus 30. And it seems like the one who was on 13 prevailed. One of those few maps where even though BGG is not top fragging out or is in the top 2, but is still finding those impact frags. Have to give it to Helef though. His position picture perfect. Threw out the fault line in a way that it stops people from getting on site so that he could find a timing. And he actually did too. Was able to get not just 1 but rather 2. However, not enough. And this time, eco round for S8UL, so they're gonna probably play mid. So you know what, let's leave mid, let's walk up C long. They get a free site.
Spike
BGG is just reading S8UL like a book.
And then they also have got the Viper Split for the Ghost Plant. You see that the lockdown is also there, but seems like they don't need those ultimates because Deadly 10 and Tricky, they are enough with their rifles to deal with the entirety of SA12. 2 plus Techno Kappa already out of the equation, and seems like Helef and Miz also goes down. It's only down to 1 player, 1 last player. Seems like the Flawless has been denied to the players of Reckoning, but can hope 2 more? Yes, he certainly can, but he misses the timing. And Tricky will shut him down. The 8th one for the players of Rick.
Last round.
Another
before the
9-3
switch.
incoming, I believe.
What's your prediction for the next round? Are you sure it's a 9-3?
I'm pretty sure I know what you want to say on the back of it, so I'll still say it 9-3. I'm gonna give you some content to farm.
Okay. It's 8-4 coming, audience.
Look at 4 major ultimates out there for Deadly, Monair, Paradox, BGG. Could be a very simple execute. Put out the Killjoy ultimate down a shot. Go for the from the shadows over towards a heaven, but this time around, Miz probably wants to play aggressive. Couple of players out here on the back of the Hunter's Fury. That's the lockdown out of the round quickly and make it 2 as well for Techno. Shutting it down and third as well found. Ricky, the only man standing, and guess what? He's enough for his team. Catches out 3 for his own as well, and now the neural theft about the information is still sticking it down for the plant, and as soon as the second tap comes in, update does not know that both the players are playing together actually, so that could be a problem.
I already told you it's an 8-4 coming. Did I or did I not say it? The moment you said it's a 9-3, it was decided it is going to be a 8-4. Except the fact, Scared, you are really jinxing the teams.
Let's see, I've already said Reckoning are 2-0 in this series, so we'll have to wait and see though. Or you can say that I'm probably hopeful for SAQL to win this one, but I've said it. A good round though from SAQL, I'll have to say. After a long while, they quickly decided to push it all the way down in mid, catching a couple of players on the back of that good recon dart by Hoax. And then he went out, threw away the Hunter's Fury too. And I love the double up at the last. Playing disciplined, not giving an inch to Tricky to work around with, who had 3 in the back pocket.
Your prediction for this one, quickly.
It's a bit weird though, I think so. I don't know, I guess I'm gonna give this one to SAQL.
Let's see. For now, the players of Reckoning on the defensive side, 2 players towards B, 1 towards Giraj, 1 towards A long. And the player towards A long is already Deadly 10 down to 65 HP. He needs to be a bit careful. And the entirety of SA12 is already moving towards A long. And seems like Deadly 10 has given up the side. Maybe the players of Reckoning, they want to play this one on the retake. Those nano swarms, the entire setup is there to give the information. And finally, the information is there at the back of the smokes. Plant should be easy for the players of SA12. But look at the players of Reckoning. They've got their entire util same for the post plant, for the retake.
Spike planted.
Gets the plant, but even Helef is also ready with his util under heaven.
The aftershock as well as the fault line are going to be the key in this round. Helef is able to land them perfectly. Yeah, that's going to be it. Miz finding the first one on the back of it. Gets the second as well, as the vulnerable was picture perfect.
Miz and Ox gets 2, but BGG also answers back by getting Miz. Ox, shock dart gets 1, Helef gets Moner, and yes, the pistol goes in the favor of the players of SA12. It's a 8-5. There is still some hope for the players of SA12 if they convert the next buy round as well. Not this one, because this is an entire eco round for them. It should go in their favor. They need to convert the bonus as well. If they're able to convert the bonus round, then we can say that yes, the players of SA12 are back in the game. They have a fighting chance. But if what happened in the first half gets repeated again, that Reckoning gets a thrifty.
Tricky already has a sheriff. I guess we are... Oh my goodness, not a headshot on Helef. That is just nasty. Might as well want to swap that Guardian up. Goes though King Kappa.
Wait a moment.
Also push down. Probably sees 1, not the second. Keep pushing it all the way out though, but here's the execute. Hoax shot onto the dome, 1 for 1 to Paradox with a good trade. Is finding an answer of his own as well. The long range fight, Techno messing it up though. Tricky shot landing right at the body, and Helef and Hoax are low. Couple of shots down, and that should be enough. There is an upgraded weaponry as well in the hands of Paradox. He's got the Spectre in hand. And they have such a good read. Look at that. They're going towards the seaside. I think so this should be done. Maybe it's a thrifty conversion again from Reckoning.
The possibility is definitely really high because look at the HP of Helef and Hawks. Down to 21 and 21 HP each. But Miz gets 1. This should not have been allowed. He picks up Tricky. The fort line is there on the back of it. Morer also goes down and Paradox also goes down. Hook steps up majorly in this one. And one more round goes in the favor of SA12. But the bonus is not going to look that comfortable now because 2 weaponries were already dropped down.
Bonus might not look comfortable, but Omen Max 16 definitely is whenever it comes down to the Tempest cooling system, as it chills out the system so very quickly. There's also some customizable RGB light bar which can showcase not just your mood but also what you're feeling in game. Maybe put it all on red with a wavy font and quickly get your aim on point. If you want to know more details about that laptop, spam that QR code. And you might also see some amazing cashback offers on the back of it. So check out the Omen laptops. But we're going to be hopping back in this game, checking out what's going to happen in this one round. As it's again, you mentioned bonus. Not really looking that pretty with a Singer, Guardian and a Judge in the hands of King Kappa. But still a couple of live rifles to work with, and Hope has got his ultimate available. So they can push it all the way down to B.
Yeah, the Hunter's Fury is really going to be important. If you remember the previous half also, the value Hoax was able to get with that ultimate changed the entire course of the round. So maybe SA12 is definitely relying on that one major ultimate, but on the other side, Reckoning, they've got the weaponry advantage.
Right
and look at the position, the way the entirety of Reckoning is towards a mid, having that mid control, leaving C for a free side hit for the players of SA12. But King Kappa to Biziki Raj already holding on to a very crucial position,
Spike
but
planted.
Tricky gets missed to B. Now the information has been passed on to the players of SA12. Exactly how Reckoning is planning this retake, and Deadly 10 also gets the initiator. Hawks, that Hunter's Fury is not going to help him in this particular round.
Love the idea. Double flank understanding. Hooks would want to play it safe as Paradox now finally catching Helef as well. King Kappa, Judge not the bestest weapon in that scenario, as it's only Techno, or rather it was only Techno. Such a flawless conversion from Reckoning Esports.
Flawless.
Did not even break a sweat for this one. Could also decide on as to who gets that ultimate orb. Eventually it was Paradox. Doubling up on that flank was such a good idea for Reckoning again. There's thinking one step ahead of what SA12 is planning, and that is the big reason why the scoreline is still favoring Reckoning, regardless of how good SA12 had looked in the past on this map too. I think so that was probably the idea that they were carrying forward, but this feels that slowly and steadily losing that hope. They need someone to ignite, but seems like it's gonna be missed this time around. On the back of that Hunter's Fury from Hooks, they're able to find some quick two-piece opener in towards the A site, and now they'll have the site control.
And the overdrive as well. The ultimate is already there. A perfect combination with that ultimate, and Miz was able to pick two players from the side of Reckoning. Now it's all down to Munair, BGG and Deadly 10 for the retake. I'm not saying it's not possible, because BGG and Deadly 10 has been performing really good this entire day. If they're able to shut down few players from the side of SA12, maybe there is a possibility of a retake happening.
Big three out there moving in unison, but there's still one more person they've got to care about, and that is the big brains Hoax on the other side, along with King Kappa holding down Sivas.
Yeah, the crossfire set is already there, but
Enemy remaining.
Deadly 10, what just happened? That frag should have gone in his favor, but seems like not this time, as BGG left as the only man standing, and seems like he has decided to go for the save. A seventh one coming on board for the players of SA12, and seems like maybe there is a possibility of a decider.
A lot of SA12 fans would be happy about that, and I'm pretty sure Fixes would also be. But we'll just have to wait and see if that actually happens or not, because SA12, they really need a hero at this point, and Miz is being one. Just a few more rounds like that, and they're gonna break the economy of Reckoning, which already is in shambles right now. Apart from BGG and Monair, you can technically say no one else has got enough to go for a full buy in the next round if this one is lost as well. 9-7 again, slowing the pace down. SA12 looking to go towards the C side. There's a small pocket normally where Monen plays out whenever he wants to hold this side down. Tries the side perfectly. Good for holding it down, good for the retake as well. Bunch of brutal bombardment out here. It's all down to Reckoning as to how quickly can they move. King Kappa this time is playing for anti-flank.
Spike planted.
Let's see if we can get any value in that anti-flank, because the camera towards the mid is also passing on a lot of information in case the players of Reckoning decide to go for that mid control. But for now,
There.
the overdrive is also there towards the side of Miz to help him out. But this is going to be important as Kappa gets tricky, like you said. He read the flank perfectly, and the entire annihilation is coming for the players of Reckoning as it's only Munair and BGG 2 players left. In a 2v3 situation, still a doable as BGG gets Techno, Kappa and Hawks.
player standing.
Time is of essence and BGG is sticking for the defuse as Kappa gets Munair and BGG with the 3k shots from Kappa as well. Hawks also goes down and there is not enough time to go for the defuse. The trades are in the favor of Reckoning, but the round goes in the favor of SATUL.
You know, there's a part of me that actually says that after getting a pick onto King Kappa, I think so BGG could have stuck it for the full defuse. Because Hoax was running knife out, he would not have had enough time to equip the gun and then get the pick. But that is something we know,
Yeah.
BGG does not. But I don't know, man. I think so maybe with the footsteps he should have known that it's not really a gun equipped player running, it's a knife out player. But it's absolutely fine. Maybe I'm just being a bit too nerdy out here. A good round again from SATUL, losing every single thing, but eventually surviving.
You and Nerdy in the same sentence? I'm shocked. But moving on. Reckoning, they don't have enough creds to go for a full buy. Once again, a hero rifle and just a single marshal towards Deadly 10 and 3 pistols. Should be an equalizer for the players of SATUL, but the way Tricky is positioned towards the A-long. Finally, he gets the information. All thanks to that recon.
Deadly.
He can be deadly for the players of SATUL at this point.
I don't think so. All got full shields out here. Needs to get those headshots. He had the opportunity.
Strike
Gets the
down
second
A.
one for himself as well. And now there's a person up in front of him. Is finally putting him out of his misery. He had 2 opportunities on Hill.
Finally, SATUL going for the plant. BGG, he has to be the MVP of this round because he has got the hero rifle. It all comes down to him. If he's able to bring down few players from the side of SATUL, there is a chance of a thrifty conversion for which Reckoning is known for. But BGG, it's all about the timing. He needs to check the window, but he finds Techno. And finally, he's aware about the position of Miz as well. The Kamikaze is there, but he dodges it perfectly.
Last player
BGG, this
standing.
guy is doing so much, but the entirety of Reckoning has been annihilated. Only one guy remaining in a 1v3 situation. His position has been compromised. 2 plus coming towards him, and he shuts down. One gets taken down by the other one. And the 9th one goes in the favor of SATUL. Equalizer coming in. You have been jinxing the players of Reckoning now.
Have not been.
Oh, you certainly are.
I'm not.
I've got enough proofs on stream.
Oh my goodness. Sounds like you make it sound like it's a non-bailable offense, but alright.
It certainly is for the players of SATUL fans at this point.
If things were that real, maybe PaperX would have won their champions long back. But alright. Some nasty shots out there, yes. But apart from that, a bit too difficult out here for Reckoning now. Pumping the brakes out. Having that discussion of what needs to be done because it's 9-9. Have lost 3 to 4 rounds consecutively. In the last 5 rounds, I believe, or rather 6 rounds, they've only won 1. That is a big problem, big sign of concern for them.
More than that, this is the map pick of Reckoning itself. So I didn't
Exactly.
expect such performance from their side. I thought it's going to be an easy 2-0 in the favor of Reckoning, especially the way they played on the map pick of SATUL. This should have been a comfortable map for the players of Reckoning, but I'm happy to see that the players of SATUL are definitely giving a tough competition now to the players of Reckoning. So maybe if SATUL win this one, then Decider is going to be really important. And also adds a little bit of the pressure onto the shoulders of the players of Reckoning at this point. But for now, the proactiveness coming in from the side of Reckoning. The first way of Util, the snake bite to deny the A-long control. But Helif picks off Tricky already. The overdrive is not going to help the Plus of Reckoning in this one, but Deadly 10, whenever it comes to this guy, he answers back as he gets one, but Fizz also gets Paradox. Munair gets two of his own towards the A main.
One enemy remaining.
1v3 situation, and Munair with a 3k.
Lovely shot onto Deadly. Techno answers back. It was an important round as well, as now it's fought it down to 1v2. Winnable. And has got the ultimate available too. Can Techno anticipate where Munair is?
Yeah.
Himself paranoid out here. Finally been able to get a watch on him. He knows where one of them is, and
30 seconds left.
he was not really gatekeeping the spike, so it's going to be a 1v1 on site, and Techno might actually be able to do it.
The dark cover on the back of it, Techno going to the plant. Reckoning, they do have the numbers advantage. They have got few good utils also to work around with. But seems like they don't need any of it, as BGG shuts down Techno, and there is enough time to go for the defuse as well. Reckoning once again back in the lead, a 10th one for the players of Reckoning, 10-9.
Lovely paranoia from BGG. Sends it out at the perfect time as soon as he hears the spike being stuck. And then repositions himself on the side. It's going to be such a massive round now, Shadow. I can see all the ults on board barring one. Gonna get so nasty. I love the fact how we are actually getting a double replay on how Munair got that 3k. And then there's a slow-mo as well onto Techno, readjusting his aim on Deadly 10. Absolutely love it. Shout out to production out there for that. Let's say QL now, pumping the brakes for their own side, because after just one timeout, Reckoning have tipped the odds in their favor again. And if SATQL lose this round, they're going to have a broken economy.
Yeah.
That means they will move towards the map point or the series point broke.
Hence the timeout. SATQL do realize the importance of this particular round. They have to convert this one in their favor. Otherwise, they're left with no option other than converting a thrifty round in their favor. That would be the only and the last hope. So yes, this round is of prime importance for the players of SA12. Hence, the timeout has already been called. And maybe after this timeout, things might go in their favor, because it's not like SA12 has been struggling a lot. They found their momentum. They found a way to deal with the players of Reckoning, and maybe there is a possibility of an equalizer coming in.
See, to be honest, it is very much possible, considering the number of ultimates there are on the other side. But pretty explosive one out here. Paradox catching one onto Techno, understanding the From the Shadows play, obliterating him out there. Now numbers just dwindling. They're trying to brute force their way. Deadly 10 catching one. King Kappa answers back onto Munair. That's the pit falling down. Information being given. It's a 4v3 scenario. Miz with the Bucky in hand. Just waiting to go in for a go out here. King Kappa has repositioned himself in garage, and this is going to be a key place. I love it. I love it. A couple of players moving in though, but Deadly 10 answers back at the perfect time. And it's all down to Helif. How much fight is left in this man? How much more can he go? The answer is not enough. Not too far long. In a marathon, he ran a sprint, and this time it's Reckoning. We're going to be moving one step closer to the series point.
11-9 in the favor of Reckoning. The most important round for the players of SA12. They lost it. They did try their level best. For a second, it looked like it might go very close. It might go in the favor of SA12, but in the end, BGG, Tricky, especially Deadly 10. Deadly 10 has been the hero in this particular map. 20 in 16, and now he has got the lockdown as well. The overdrive towards Tricky, Armageddon towards Paradox. Things are already looking in the favor of Reckoning, and this time Miz with the overdrive tries to go a little aggressive towards A-Long, has been shut down by Paradox. The only win condition which the players of SA2L had is now gone. The overdrive. Although the Hunter's Fury is already there.
Oh
But
my God.
BGG's Outlaw is also there. Shuts down King Kappa. If the numbers are not there, the Hunter's Fury itself is not going to help the players of SA2L.
And the drone also spotted out a couple of players, so I believe it's a bingo time. They've lost every single one. Munair, though, walks up with a judge out there, and Hoax is the one who takes a lot more damage than he was able to deliver, even though the distance was actually pretty decent. Not the prettiest buyout. Stinger and a Bulldog. They're walking down garage. There's a turret in front of them. Deals with it. That means Munair is just so active on the site.
He certainly is, but he also needs to find the timing, the connection, and seems like he does onto Helef. Needs one more. The Viper's wall is there. Those utils are already there. Techno walks
enemy
down
remaining.
to very low HPs. Only Techno remaining, and seems like Munair will shut him down as well. A 12th one for the players of Reckoning. Not just a map point, but the series point is where Reckoning is, and they've got 4 ultimates online.
With the Hunter's Fury, you can only counter one, and there's not a single one that now can be used up by SA2L. Seems like their players, apart from Miss, King Kappa and Hoax, both Helef and Techno are struggling.
They certainly are. Once again, the port lane play is there. It was a long. On the back of it, Miz does establish that long control, but for now, SA2L, they're just trying to get some information.
Look at where Munair is. All the way towards the cubby. And all the information he needs to. On the back of that Teho drone, they've also... He's there, one of them is. Yeah, now bot's gonna give them out. I like what SA2L are doing. Slowly and steadily dealing with the util everywhere.
I'm out of here.
The question marks here. I think so Truke's heard it. They probably know where the rotation is going, and Munair, he can make the biggest play out of here.
He certainly can, and he will. He gets one, Deadly 10 gets one more.
King Kappa, he can eventually break that lockdown out, but BGG shuts him out with a shot onto the head. Hoax was not able to destroy the lockdown, and the Armageddon now on their feet. They are caught between a rock and a hard place as Tricky hops in with the magical fingers. He's doing the magical things as Farah will get the shot and will make sure his team moves to LAN. Reckoning Esports are howling like none other, while SA2L can do nothing but watch what's been shown. Oh my god.
Well, the ticket to LAN has finally been confirmed by the players of Reckoning, and indeed, it was much deserved. But SA2L also did give a tough competition to the players of Reckoning, especially in the second half of the map of Haven.
A phenomenal performance indeed, I'll have to say. Reckoning, even though there were certain times, as you perfectly mentioned, that SA2L seemed like they were hopping in, but it just came down to the fact where, you know, there was this one big timeout by SA2L, and even after that, Reckoning's adjustment was picture perfect.
Yeah.
They were able to adapt to the slow pace of SA2L, they were able to hold out on their side, and none of the players were over-rotating, which was eventually a problem back in the first half of that attacking side of SA2L. And I think so, that adaptation changed the entire dynamic of the game.
Well, certainly it did change, and on top of that, I think Deadly 10, the way this guy was performing, he was top fragging on the map of Haven every single time, be it the eco rounds, the second round, if you remember, Reckoning was able to convert the save round in their favor, and all thanks to Deadly 10, because this guy has been fantastic with those sheriffs, the way he was able to get those opening frags, be it a save round or a full buy round. And also, Helef also did try his level best, the way he was able to shut down aggression of Tricky in few of those rounds.
Absolutely. I love the fact how there were constant back and forths happening again, and every single player from both of these teams were getting activated. But here's the fun thing, you know, eventually I'll have to say, if we look at this map as a whole, Techno and Hilif were the two people who struggled a lot in this entire map. And this is when they both normally play very good here.
Things were not really working in the favor of SA12, let's be honest. Maybe it could be the pressure because the previous map, which was their own map pick, didn't really go in their favor. That could have been an extra added pressure onto the players of SA12. But the MVP this time has to be Deadly 10. 22 kills, 282 ACS, 3 first kills, 174 damage per round. Headshot percentage is going to be 26.2%. And as a killjoy, I think he was doing way more than a killjoy is supposed to do.
He was everywhere, constantly holding down the forts as well when it was needed, providing the perfect support to the teammates, flanking in as well as soon as he found those opportunities. So indeed, Deadly 10 on the Skilljoy, picture perfect, I'll have to say. Even though Monair and BGG were they're two of the highlight players of Reckoning, sometimes, or rather many a times now, Deadly 10 is stepping up big time for his team. And look at the stark difference in terms of post plants. Yes, first kills are almost even, 12 and 10. But look at the post plants. 10 times Reckoning were able to get the site. 8 times they converted that. While SA12, out of again the 10 rounds that we played on their attack, they were able to get the site 8 times, but were only able to convert it 5 times. And that is where the difference arose.
Everything was lined up for the players of Reckoning, but looking at the player stats as well, Deadly 10, 22 and 16. On the other side, Miz was also stepping up from the side of SA12. As a Neon, I think he reminded me of Damara in few of those rounds, 23 in 18, 304 ACS. In fact, he has got the highest ACS in the entire server and highest first kills, 5 first kills towards him, but he needed support. He needed the initiator utility and those paranoias, the dark covers, but that thing was completely missing in few of those rounds from the side of SA12.
A few tweaks that they need to do here and there. Probably an off map for a couple of players on their side too. But I think so now it's what's done is done. Can't really linger on the exact same thing. They're going to be ending their run in split 2 at the 4th position though. But again, Reckoning, what a play. And Shadow, quick guess, Monair or BGG? Never mind. Deadly 10 is the entire match MVP. Now that's something I wasn't really expecting, though I hoped for it to happen. And it actually did. 41 kills with an ACS of 264 with 4 first kills as well. And this guy was constantly playing either the Initiator or he was playing the Sentinel. So I think so these are the perfect stats which you can eventually ask for your utility player as a teammate. And I think so. This Reckoning is now finally ready for the LAN.
I agree. They are ready for the LAN the way they were playing against the players of SA12. It was such a great pleasure to watch. But like I said at the start of the game, that I'm bringing the lady luck for the players of Reckoning because this guy has been jinxing them. They needed the luck and finally it's a 2-0 like I said.
Talk about stealing the credits though, but alright.
I am a good person. I don't jinx teams like you.
Green flag saying I'm a green flag. Absolutely fine. Though, but here's the fun thing now. Shadow, 3 teams for the LAN. VLT, Revenant X-Park, and then Reckoning in the lower bracket. All of those matches will happen all the way in LAN now, so you do not want to miss out on any of those action, right? If I'm not wrong, it's happening in Mumbai.
I think so, yes.
Absolutely,
I think
it
so,
will.
yes.
Yeah, so again, some of the fun games out here that will happen, and all of them, it will be on the 2-day LAN out here on 31st and 1st. Yeah, 31st and 1st. I was actually calculating out here. See how quick my math is, and now I know what you're about to say, so I'm not going to let you speak. But now that I ask you of the journey that we have seen till now, I'll have to say, you know, we've seen stark improvement in all the teams, considering where they started, or rather where they ended their split 1 versus where they are right now.
Of course, VLT, they have been fantastic from the very start, let's be honest. We expected such domination from the side of Velocity Gaming and Revenant X-Park. Revenant X-Park was able to 2-0 so many teams. Even Velocity Gaming, they started against the players of Asterisk. I still remember that match. Huge domination coming in from the side of VLT, a 2-0. But SA12 and Reckoning, they had to see few lower brackets matches, and where Reckoning finally 2-0 SA12, and now Reckoning is moving forward for the LAN, but the first matchup is also going to be between Velocity and Revenant X Park. But now let's have a look at the qualified teams for the LAN finale, and it has to be Revenant X Park, Velocity Gaming and Reckoning Esports. And Scared, I really want to know from you, what is your prediction? Who is going to be the champion team or Split 2?
I think so. I'm going to say that with a very solid confidence. VLT should be able to take Split 2 as well, given the performance that this team has shown till now throughout the journey of Split 2. Even in Split 1, they were an unmatched team. Yes, Revenant X Park is another team which might actually put a good competition, and to be very honest, I think maybe Revenant X Park might take the next series.
I want one answer. When I ask prediction, I want one answer.
I said VLT. VLT will win it, but Revenant X Park will give them a good competition though out there. But the positions according to me is VLT, then Revenant X Park, and then Reckoning. But I'll be glad to see something else. I'll be glad to see some things changing out here. But you know, there's one thing that always stays constant, and that is the question of the quiz. But the question will always change out here. Who was the most picked agent in OMEN VCSA Split 1 2025? Was it Sage? Was it Phoenix? Was it OMEN? Was it Reyna? And I'm pretty sure, Shadow, you cast it out there. You know the answer to this.
Oh, of course I know the answer, but I can't take part in the quiz. It's for the audience, and Scared, even you can't also take part. For the audience, all you have to do is just scan the QR code and answer the question. But for a second, I thought you and me are going to be on the same page when it comes to the champion team of Split 2. But my prediction is going to be Revenant X Park. I think Revenant X Park, they are going to steal the trophy.
We'll see how much Lady Luck works there. But I think so. Revenant X Park, they've got a good chance in order to give the competition to VLT. But I still feel there's a lot of depth in VLT that we haven't really seen, we haven't really explored. But I'm totally down for it. Reckoning as well, they've shown some good amount of promise today, considering the improvement that they had shown on the map of Split in just one day. That is massive. And I think so if they can do it in one day, they've got a good amount of time to prepare against the next two competition as well. So you can eventually try and dive deep into the veto. You can do all the strats you want to in the book, but the next flight is going to stop in Mumbai, ladies and gentlemen. So we will see you at the LAN of VCSA Split 2. That's going to be it from me, Scared. And alongside me, we had the first day of Shadow as well, and a very solid one at that. But yes, we've got more upcoming and the LAN. We'll see you on 31st and 1st. Till then, bye-bye.
Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. I ain't taking no loss, no loss, no loss. Look, I'ma always win. And I'ma do it again. Watch me win. Then watch me do it again. I'ma always win.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage.